Look at him, he's heading for that small moon.
I think I can get him before he gets there. He's almost in range.
That's no moon. It's a space station.
What's up and what's going on, fellow fanatics? Thank you all for being here this evening. Thank you so much, Kenny. Already coming in early with the super chats. We appreciate that so much. I am doing great today. I'm having a good day, and I appreciate all of you guys. Hope you guys are all having a good day as well. We definitely have some things that we are going to get into and talk about today. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat. Spiderweb Toga, appreciate you being here. Appreciate Network, appreciate SB Flash. Again, Kenny, thank you so much. Antonio Films, appreciate you being here. Ant-Man 991, Official MG, Raymond 2000, appreciate you guys all being here. Yes, Spiderweb Toga, I did know. I saw that the Ant-Man script did leak over the weekend, and I was blessed enough to had gotten through some of it before it was taken off of the internet. Marvel went through with their snipers and definitely got rid of that shit. They made sure, and that's how you know that that was for real, that it was real, that the leak that got out for the Quantumania script was real, because Marvel made sure with the quickness to get that taken off of the internet. So it is now off of the internet, but I do remember it for sure. There was a specific scene in there, dialogue from Kang in there that got my attention. Basically, I don't remember exactly what he said, but basically he just said that he was giving Scott an ultimatum and told him, you know, you can either help me or I'm going to kill your daughter in front of you, and I'm going to force you to watch it over and over and over and over again until you beg me to kill you. So what's it going to be, Ant-Man? So I thought that shit was pretty dope. I thought it was pretty dope. So I'm pretty excited for it. I can't wait to see Jonathan Majors and what he's going to do as Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania. So I'm definitely excited for it. Again, appreciate all you guys being here. DeJinx, see you in here. Dexter Hobbs, appreciate you being here. Before we get into anything, as I always say, if you are new here and you would like to join our Discord, you can do so. The link is down below in the bio. You can just click that link there, and that will allow you to join a vast variety of conversations from Marvel, DC, anime, to whatever other conversations they are constantly having in the Discord. And I love the fact that we do have this Discord. I get to join in on the conversation as well, and it's a lot of fun in the Discord. So if you'd like to join the Discord, you can. It's also the easiest way to get in contact with us when we do giveaways. So when we do giveaways, you can get us your mailing information so that I can get you the giveaway that you have won for whatever giveaway it may be that day. So if you'd like to, you can join the Discord. The link is down below in the bio. But like I said, we do have some things that we're going to get into today. We're going to talk about Jason Momoa, the video that he posted last week. Now, I wasn't going to talk about this at all. That's why I didn't talk about it last week. But within his newest quote, I was like, okay, wait a minute. Maybe we do need to touch on this over here. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. We'll talk about Selena Gomez. Seems like Selena Gomez may be entering the MCU. I know a lot of MCU fans have been wanting Selena Gomez to join the MCU for a while. That has been a thing since, I want to say, Endgame days, where people were saying Selena Gomez should be in the MCU and things like that. Well, your wish may be granted. Looks like she may be joining the MCU. And we're going to talk about a Kang theory. It's not my theory. It's a Kang theory that was posted on the Marvel Studios subreddit, and we are going to go through it, and I'll let you guys, give me your thoughts on what you guys are thinking of this Kang theory. We'll talk about Casey Walsh's tweet that he tweeted out over the weekend as well. I retweeted it myself, and I just retweeted it saying, but he tweeted out a picture of the Young Avengers and said that that Young Avengers team is in Vision Quest. Pretty shocked to say, pretty shocked to see that. So I will definitely be talking about that and take a look at that. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is the leaks that have come out for Agatha, Coven of Chaos. And there have been some major leaks coming out from an account called, I think it's, let me make sure I have his name correctly. Divinity Seeker, who is a new scooper on the scene, but a lot of other scoopers have been corroborating some of the things he's been saying. So we're going to go over it and talk about it. It involves Wanda, Mephisto, Wiccan, and, Agatha, obviously, and some others. So we're going to talk about that, and we'll talk about all those things here on today's show. So let's get right into it. Obviously, also too, if you have not hit the like button, go ahead and smash that like button. We appreciate you. It definitely helps us out over here when we can get the videos moving through the algorithm. So we definitely help you. Appreciate you guys helping us out over here. So let's get into Jason Momoa's stuff first. Let's see here. Did I not bring my cup in here, bro? Do I not have my cup? Oh, no, sorry. We have to hold a second. I can't do this without my drink. 1 second. All right, sorry. I can't do this shit without my drink, bro. All right, let's jump into Jason Momoa and the things going on with Jason Momoa. We've obviously been talking about DC for the last year. We've been talking a lot about DC within the last year, but specifically within the past 2 to 3 months, we've been talking a lot about James Gunn's reboot for DC Studios. And there have been a lot of reports and rumors swirling around DC since. But one of those rumors that we've been hearing, and we kind of heard this, I want to say we kind of heard about this before James Gunn started to announce the reboot, and that was that Jason Momoa would be playing the main man, Lobo. And I'm like everyone else. It fits. He's perfect for the role. So I like the fact that that has been put out there. I like the fact that it's seemingly not even a rumor anymore. It's just inevitably supposed to be happening. We're just, going to be waiting on James Gunn to announce their 10-year plan here coming up. But last week, Momoa had a meeting with David Zaslav, Peter Safran, and James Gunn, and he was pretty excited once he left the meeting. And we didn't talk about this last week, but I'm going to go ahead and show this video where he was excited about it. Let me see here. So this is the video he took after leaving the meeting. Let's check this out.
Was it 4 years ago? I had the Jeep out front? No, I want you. I had it 4 years ago. I was screaming, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Screaming when I left Warner Brothers. Right? Everyone's in the meeting. 4 years again. It's a mystery, baby. We got, I got some really good news. Great news with Warner Brothers. Amazing. Wish I could tell you, but here it is. Peter, I love you. James, I love you. David. Okay. Mwah. To the future, to the future. Baby! Picture me rolling.
Okay, so as you can see, he's pretty excited about the things going on with Warner Brothers, with DC. He's happy about it. And I'm pretty sure whatever they talked about, whatever was discussed, it has to be the simple fact that he is no longer going to be Aquaman. He's going to be moving into being Lobo. But Jason Momoa also did an interview here with Variety, and I will go ahead and put that to where you guys can see that as well. He did an interview with Variety, and in that interview with Variety, I want to make sure that I'm getting exactly what he said. In that interview with Variety, he said that, well, he kind of somewhat hinted that there was a possibility that he could be playing another character or multiple characters. Obviously, we know that he's more than likely playing the main man, Lobo, but he hinted that he could be playing multiple characters outside of just playing Lobo. This is what he said. He said, one thing, well, this is from Variety, one thing coming is Momoa's second standalone Aquaman movie, Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom. There's also rumors that Momoa will be playing a different superhero character, Lobo, in the new DC universe under Gunn and Safran. Momoa would not confirm such rumors, but he did say there might be other characters coming from him down the line regarding DC. I'll always be Aquaman. Ain't anyone coming in there and anyone coming in there and taking shit. There might be some other characters too. I can play other things too. I can be funny and savage and charming. And again, that is coming from Variety, where he said that there. And honestly, when this adds to the list of questions that I have. This adds to the list of questions I have in regards to the DC reboot. Could we possibly be seeing Jason Momoa playing different characters in the DC universe? Either when he says, I'm always going to be Aquaman, either he's saying that in the same way that we say Mark Hamill will always be the Joker, even though he's saying he's stepping down as the Joker. Either it's kind of like one of those deals where it's like, okay, no matter what, regardless of Mark Hamill stepping down, he's still always going to be the Joker. That's his, blah, 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 blah. It could be one of those legacy things with Momoa that he's talking about. Like, no one's ever going to come in here and be the Aquaman that I was. I'm Aquaman, things like that. Or it could be the very real fact that he is playing Aquaman and playing the main man, Lobo, and which again begs the question: if that is what's going on, that puts Jason Momoa now in the same conversation with Zachary Levi. It puts Jason Momoa in the same conversations as Ezra Miller, in the same conversations as Henry Cavill. If you're going to do a reboot, you're keeping, the rumor is, at least right now, because we don't know, because James Gunn has not come out and given us a 10-year plan or given definitive answers to some things. But the rumor right now is that Zachary Levi is going to continue as Shazam. We got a very vague answer from James Gunn when asked about Ezra Miller continuing on as the Flash, even though I really don't think that that's happening. But to keep Peacemaker, to keep some of the Suicide Squad members that we've seen and heard that they're going to be keeping and things like that, but you get rid of Gal, you get rid of Henry Cavill, you get rid of some of these, like especially Henry Cavill, you get rid of that, you get rid of Henry Cavill as Superman, but you're willing to keep on, if that's true, if that's what Jason Momoa was meaning, you're willing to keep Momoa on as Aquaman, willing to keep Levi on as Shazam. It just gets really weird to me. I think that if you're going to do a reboot, then reboot. I don't think it needs to be some half reboot or a reboot where I just keep the things that I like. I think that you need to completely do a reboot because the entire universe needs it. That's no secret. We all know that. The entire universe needed a reboot. But again, you're going to piss fans off when you get rid of Henry Cavill, who we've all been wanting back for over a decade, but you keep some of these others. Again, if you're going to do a reboot, do a reboot. But I digress because we've talked about that at length before. And prayerfully, a lot of those questions are going to get answered when James Gunn and Peter Safran get up here with time winding down. Because I did see that James Gunn tweeted out, someone asked him about when's he going to announce the 10-year plan. And he said, what he said, I think he said we're not even 3/4 way into January. And he said this over the, last week, sir. There's 8 days left in January. So I'm assuming this week should be the week that we get news from James Gunn, Peter Safran, Zaslav, and the rest of them about what is going on with the rebooted now DC Studios. So we should be getting a look at that 8 to 10 year plan here coming up. But however, as I've said before, I think Momoa is perfect as Lobo, and I'll even show this. I'm sure a lot of people have already seen this, but I'll even show this. I think Momoa is perfect as Lobo. I think he's going to do a great job if that is truly, not if, I mean, we all know, I mean, all signs point to Lobo. There was the image that James Gunn shared a couple months ago of the Lobo poster and things like that, kind of hinting at Momoa and whatever like that. So, and Lobo is right up Gunn's alley as well, as far as the type of stories he could tell, the type of characters that he likes to tell stories with. Lobo is right up that alley, and I can where you see Jason Momoa in that quote from Variety where he said, I can be funny, I can be charming, I can be savage. That is the main man. That's Lobo. I mean, that Lobo is savage. He can be charming. There's moments, lots of moments where Lobo is funny, but he's also very terrifying in moments. So I love this image of the fan art here that they've done of Momoa as Lobo here, and there's so many other fan arts of him. But I think that he is going to be Lobo. I thought that this newest quote from Variety was pretty interesting. Again, that was my first time seeing the video of him talking about the meeting he had. I remember seeing the video everywhere. I just didn't watch it, but I remember seeing the video everywhere. But this was my first time seeing it, so I really think that the news he got is that he's going to be Lobo, and moving on with whatever reboot or version of a reboot that DC is doing with James Gunn and Peter Safran. But as always, I do leave the question for you guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. What do you guys are thinking is going to come of DC and the reboot and the things that James Gunn is going to hopefully announce here in the coming days? And what are you guys thinking of the video and the newest quote from Jason Momoa with him saying, you know, hey, I will always be Aquaman. No one's coming here and taking that shit from me. Is that him just speaking on his legacy of Aquaman? Or are you thinking he's actually going to be Aquaman and possibly even Lobo moving on into the future of the DCU? So let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. Let's see what the chat's saying, guys. Let's see. JD15 or JD75. I'm sorry. I appreciate you being here and hitting that like button. Let's see. Kenny said he got the Henry like a pawpaw. Let's see, Sir Yuri G, appreciate you being here. Official Liam G said I can easily explain this video. Momoa's last time playing Aquaman is December, but he's gonna be announced as Lobo for either solo project or his Superman film. Yeah, he's definitely going to be announced for a solo project for sure. I don't like the fact that James Gunn is writing this or directing this Superman film that's coming up. At least that's the rumor, that he is going to be directing the Superman film. Actually, I don't even know if that's a rumor. I think that is fact. I think James Gunn that's fact that he is going to be directing the Superman film. I don't like it. I don't. I'd rather you just be the CEO. There's some certain things like a Lobo. I feel like that is more James Gunn's style of what he wants to do. Those type of characters like Lobo. Him directing Lobo, I am all for that. But him directing a Superman film, I'm not sure. But we definitely know that Lobo is going to get that solo film for sure. D Stizzle, appreciate you being here. Let's see. Raymond said multiple characters in shared universe. That makes no sense. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. But James Gunn and company have been so vague about what we can expect from this rebooted DC universe. Raymond said, I've got questions too. Yeah. Kenny Pierce said, what if Aquaman and Lobo are in the same room and end up fighting? You know, I've seen some people asking that too. Like, what if Lobo... I saw somebody say on Twitter saying if maybe Lobo shows up in Aquaman. I'm like, bro, no, fuck no. Like, no, don't do that shit. First of all, he doesn't need to play two people anyway. Let's see. Appreciate you being here, Snyder. Raymond says, so if... Sorry, it took me down. Raymond said, so if he might continue to be Aquaman and they keep Levi, why the hell get rid of Henry and Ben? That is the question. That is the $1 million question, and that is why we have to wait for... Now, I don't think James is going to get up here when he starts discussing the future of the DC universe to start talking about, well, this is why we did this, and this is why we did this, and X, Y, and Z. I don't expect him to do that. I feel like he's been doing that already on Twitter, vaguely doing it on Twitter, but doing it already on Twitter. But that is the question. Why get rid of Henry? Why get rid of Gal? Why get rid of Ben? And, you know, why... You could have rebooted with the same guys, you know, added some new faces or whatever, but kept the core guys and brought them in and rebooted. But that's not what you decided to do. And if you're keeping Levi, you're keeping Miller, you're keeping Momoa, but you're getting rid of the guy that everyone wanted back. As you guys all know, you've been here. It's the fucking reason I went and saw Black Adam. I saw the post-credit scene before I saw Black Adam, but I needed to see it on the big screen. I needed to see Henry Cavill back in the suit on the big screen, because every other time we saw Henry Cavill for these last 10 years, it's either been from the neck down or a silhouette. And people were excited about it, but I will say this too. You guys know when I saw Black Adam, there were barely anybody in the IMAX theater, and typically when we go to the theater, it is packed out. There was no one there. There was like 30 people there. So DC fans shot themselves in the foot by not supporting some of these things, by not going to the theater and supporting some of these things that were out there. You know, DC fans like to be so upset about what's going on with the current DC universe, but you didn't go out in droves to support and show, hey, we are excited that Henry Cavill's back, because everybody knew he was coming back. The rumor was out there, and once word of mouth got around from the post-credit scene, more and more people should have went to go see it if that's something they wanted to support. But I think that plays a role in a lot of this too, that the lack of fan support for the current iteration of what was the DCU. So I think so. Snyder said Cavill was universally loved, and Gunn got rid of him. SMH, yeah. Raymond said you can toss Gal. Chill Spot, appreciate you being here. Snyder said, I was talking to Raymond there. Officially MG said they're never going to fully say who's gone if they are part of a DC movie that comes out this year. WB already broke. They can't afford to have these movies fail. I mean, but I think also with that comes common sense. I think common sense. I mean, because that's been a conversation on Twitter. I've seen so many people taking the current logos of the DC movies that are still coming to theaters and saying, why do we give a fuck? Why do we care if you're rebooting that? Because I don't. I'm not going to go see Lost Kingdom. I'm going to go see The Flash out of curiosity because it's the Flashpoint. I'm going to go see Blue Beetle because you guys know I'm full on support for Jaime Reyes and Xolo's Blue Beetle. I can't wait for that movie, and I think that that's still going to play a role in the rebooted DC universe. But a lot of this other stuff, like, why the fuck do we care? If you've rebooted, why do we care? So at that point, I say, why not just come out and say who's going to do what and who's going to be in the new reboot and who's not going to be in the new reboot? Because at the end of the day, whatever fans go sit down and see in Lost Kingdom, there's no consequence because that's it. At the end of the day, whatever we see in Flash, there's no consequence because that's it. What else is coming out for them? I don't even remember what else is coming out for. At the end of the day, with Shazam, whatever fucking happens at the end of Shazam, there's no consequence because we know what happened. It's kind of like with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. My whole thing with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series was for fucking why. There's no consequence. We know what happens. At the end of this, we're going to move into episode 4. We know what the fuck is about to happen. So if I'm sitting down in Lost Kingdom and they have post-credit scenes, well, why the fuck do I care if there's no consequence? This is not going into your newly rebooted universe, so why should I care? So I agree with what you're saying for sure, but at the end of the day, it's like, but none of that shit matters. D Stizzle said, reboot mode activated. Appreciate you being here, K-Dot, for sure. Let's see. Raymond, not talking to me. D Sizzle said, I stand by Jason. Was miscast from the jump. He's spot on a Lobo. Yeah, definitely spot on Lobo. Ant-Man 1991 said Jason Momoa should have been Lobo since day one. I agree. Agreeing with D Stizzle. Network said, I can't wait to see Lobo on the big screen. Same. I really want to see him. Snyder said, they don't want this smoke. Shannon Sharp, there she know. LOL. Yeah, that Shannon shit. Snyder said, get Matthew Vaughn for Superman film. Omega 095 said Lobo versus Morbius. Kenny said, you could Photoshop Taylor Swift to look like and I think she would make a good Lobo too. Fuck, it took me down. Hold on. JD75 said, if DC is doing a reboot, they better beware fool. They don't end up making DC for dumb decisions. And then we got Snyder said, Lobo, it's Morbin time. Raymond said, who knows? Maybe Den of Nerds was right. James Gunn's hate Cavill. Maybe Josh was onto something. Maybe Josh was right, and maybe he does hate Cavill. And you know, the funny thing is, when everybody was trying to jump on Josh for that, Josh stated, I'm only stating. He's like, that's not my opinion. That's not me saying James Gunn hates Cavill. That's what I'm hearing from like people on the inside, that he hates Cavill, that this and this and that, blah blah blah. But everybody tried to twist that shit and put it on Josh just because Gunn replied. Snyder said, facts, Rayman. I'm starting to think that about as well. D-Sizzle said, James loves his pop music and dance routines. Soups doesn't need that at all, bro. That's why I don't want him directing the Superman film. JD said he meant dumb choices. Got you there. Dexter said, can't complain when you don't support. I mean, that's real. That's really what it is. You're complaining, but no one showed up to put money to line DC's pockets with any type of money for the projects they were putting out. So I agree. Josh said there was no fandom for DC Snyder stuff. Everything was subpar and fans rip everything apart. Now they want to keep it cap. They continue to hate regardless of the news. Reboot and try again. I agree. I do agree that it's no secret, bro. Like, we're all aware DC needed a reboot. This was not something that just like, you know, some of us agree with. I mean, obviously there are some that agree, some that disagree, but if you really look in your heart of hearts, you know, as a Snyder fan, look in your heart, I'm a Snyder fan too, but look in your heart of hearts, you know DC needed this reboot. They needed this because they were losing fans. Even though Snyder fans, they were still losing fans. Hell, I didn't want to go see Black Adam until Henry Cavill was in it. So yeah, I mean, they needed this reboot. Snyder said, the multiverse movie that I will see day one in June is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse day one. For sure. Hungry Almighty said, while I do like Blue Beetle, unfortunately, in my opinion, I don't care about this movie because why should I care about WBC tier characters if they can't give me their top tier characters? I would say this is what I'll say, and I'm echoing what I've seen on Twitter when it comes to that C-list character, and I saw that Ember shared that. And Ember is a scooper that we talk about over here sometimes, but Ember shared it's kind of that same sentiment. Why do I care about a C-list character? Well, I'd put it this way: Iron Man was a C-list character before, and I'm not saying that you cared about Iron Man. I don't know if you did or not, but Iron Man was a C-list character before the MCU turned Iron Man into what Iron Man is. Like, some of these characters that have been introduced into the MCU as main characters were C-list characters before becoming household names due to the MCU. So, again, I've said this before about Jaime Reyes. I was introduced to Jaime Reyes, I believe it was Brave and Bold, or what was it? Brave and Bold? I forgot where I first saw Jaime show up in. But I fell in love with Jaime Reyes during Young Justice. Young Justice, when I saw his portrayal in Young Justice, I fell in love with that character. So I said that to say, who's to say that whatever they're doing with Xolo Maridueña and what's going on with Jaime Reyes and what they're doing with Blue Beetle, who's to say that they can't take this C-list character and make him a household name? Because I said that in my tweet. This film is going to, it's so heavily, influenced by the Hispanic culture and the Hispanic community, and it's for the Hispanic community and for the culture over there and everything like that. I think that bringing in Blue Beetle, this younger character, having an actor like Xolo come in and portray him, and Xolo is obviously beloved by people that already watch Cobra Kai and have fallen in love with Cobra Kai, and just from loving Karate Kid in general. Having him, having Jaime Reyes, having this newly rebooted DC, and having him be that kind of, he's no Spider-Man, obviously. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying having him kind of be that younger, playful hero that's akin to a type of Spider-Man could be good moving forward for DC. Could be good to have this type of C-list character come in and become an A-list character, come in and become a household name next to Supes, next to Batman, next to Green Lantern, and the others. I think that this film is going to be really good. I do personally. I'm pretty high on it, but that's also because I'm a Xolo fan. I thought that he was great in Cobra Kai, and I support him. And after watching the interview he did, where he talked to he was on a Hispanic talk show, and they were talking to him about the movie, and the talk show host was saying how her kids can't wait, her brother can't wait, she can't wait. Like, she's like, my whole family cannot wait to see our culture represented. We can't wait to see a Hispanic hero, on screen. So I think that this film is going to do a lot better than what people are thinking. We got Josh that said a Black Superman movie still in the works. Sorry, it took me down. a Black Superman movie still in the works, I think, for DC. It is. It's supposed to be. I don't know if J.J. Abrams is still doing it or not, but it is still in the works. Hungry Almighty also said, never liked Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I literally said he was underwater Lobo, lol. Yeah, no, I'm not big on the Aquaman. I'm not big on Aquaman in general, but Dougie Fresh said Shazam and Aquaman coming out after Flashpoint is just weird. I guess they don't have a choice, but that's blowing your feet. That's blowing your feet off with an RPG. Yeah, but then again, it's kind of like I was saying at the top there to Official MG. They don't care, bro. Like, because this has no consequence. Like, they could show Flashpoint. They could show this shit in any fucking order they want to show it in. Release it in any order they want to release it in. Because it has no consequence moving forward for James Gunn's future DC. It doesn't fucking matter what this shit does. Like, it doesn't matter. And I don't think they give a shit what it does. Obviously, Warner Brothers wants their money, but at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't matter. Unless they show us something to where that stuff is still somehow interconnected, but then again, what are we doing at that point? Josh said, and majority didn't like Man of Steel because he was too destructive. Official MG said, I believe it's simply because of the way his career has gone. LOL, no one wants to work with him except himself, apparently. Oh, not talking to me, talking to Raymond, sorry. Josh said, I agree. I like Man of Steel, but people didn't. I was such a problem that the MCU immediately made a sub-storyline for it. And then we got Elijah that said, respectfully, I'm going to miss this DCEU, but I'm ready for the reboot. Yeah, I'm ready for the reboot. I'm ready for the reboot, too. I'm damn ready for the reboot. Raymond said, we never got a man from the UNCLE sequel. What is that abbreviating from? Xavier said, I like Cavill and all, but bring on the reboot. I'm the same way. Don't get me wrong. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. As I said, the day that they got rid of him as Superman, I don't have to have Cavill as Superman. As long as we still get Supes, I don't gotta have him as Superman. He didn't have to be my Kal-El, but I really adored him as Kal-El. But I can move on without him. D Stizzle said, James needs to stay off Twitter. Yeah, arguing with YouTubers and all that. Probably has alt accounts, yeah, probably commenting on their channels. Bro, I'm telling you, the whole arguing with Josh thing was weird. It was weird. Josh said all the movie channels, all the Reddit boards, Perp Minded, appreciate you being here. Josh said, where else do you go to voice your thoughts? Like, not enough with WB or fans. D Stizzle said, I care about Iron Man. I cared about Iron Man before the MCU, and there were some that did. I mean, I did not care about Iron Man before the MCU, but he was still a C-list character. Iron Man was still a C-list character. He wasn't one that was like up there when it comes to. I mean, honestly, the MCU doing what they did with Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark has made Iron Man a household name. Iron Man was not a household name before, unless you were a Marvel head. Snyder said, Young Justice, Brave and the Bold was Ted Kord. Okay, I thought Jaime showed up in Brave and the Bold, though. Was it not Jaime? Xavier said Young Justice was my first introduction to Jaime. Yeah, I love Young Justice. Young Justice really made me fall in love with him. Took me down again. I'm going to read some more of these, but I'm going to move to the next topic. Let me see. Sir Yuri G said, I'm like you, bro. I got introduced to Blue Beetle and Young Justice and instantly liked the concept of him, so I can't wait for his movie. Yeah, I really loved it. I really loved what they did with Blue Beetle. I just love Young Justice in general. Oh, is that what it is? Okay. I love Young Justice in general, but Jaime is definitely one of my favorite characters from the show. Hungry Almighty said, will Blue Beetle be even kept canon? If so, I feel like WB will say Superman is the first DCU movie and ignore Blue Beetle, like how Marvel keeps ignoring Incredible Hulk, even though that's canon to the MCU. I can't give an answer to that. And the reason I can't give an answer to that is because James Gunn himself has not given a fucking answer to that. Until they get out here and tell us what this future plan is going to look like, give us some type of slate. The rumor is that Blue Beetle is going to be kept canon. That's just the rumor, though. You know, until James Gunn comes out with some type of definitive answer, I'm not sure. I would like it to be, though. Let's see. Snyder said Jaime Reyes was also in Teen Titans, First Justice League, Teen Titans, Judas Contract, animated. Yes. Eric Shaw said, the worst thing MCU fans criticize is Phase 4. DC fans, not so much. Let's see. Skip down a little bit. Thank you for the super so much. Ray said, can you announce our chat about Ray's petition? Let me see. Wait, what are you talking about there? Can you announce our chat about Ray's petition? Are you doing a petition? You have to explain that one to me. I'm not sure. Let me see. Hungry Almighty also said, I love Henry Cavill, but at the end of the day, if I had to choose between restoring the Snyderverse, keeping Cavill, or have a reboot, I would definitely choose a reboot. Rice said, let's see. I want to make sure I'm reading this correctly because I don't know if this is in order or not, but it says his family and friends are all working on it with him because we are all so tired of Marvel's nonsense and refusal to honor Chad. A lot of information is still being added, but if you are on board with recasting, then this is worth signing. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. This is worth signing. It also needs to be shared using the hashtag if anyone is willing, from the perspective of young special needs fan of Chadwick and Panther. Man of Steel was great. Oh, that's sorry, not for me. Yeah, if you send me the petition, I will make sure that I get it blasted for you. If it has something to do with T'Challa and has something to do with, recasting of the character, I can read through it definitely and get it blasted for sure. Definitely appreciate you being here and sharing that with us. Elijah said both versions of Blue Beetle showed up. Okay, I thought so. I thought they did. I was going to say, I thought I remember him showing up in Red and Bold. Let's see. All right, so we'll move here to the next topic. I'll read the last thing here from Sergey G. Well, Kenny said to let the past die, kill it if you have to. Sergey G said, I'll give Marvel credit for Iron Man because he was a B, even C list character. And plus, the Civil War event was going on and people hated his character more than, and instantly after that movie, he was loved. Yeah. Raymond said, I really think the Snyderverse could have worked if they got more directors on board, have someone else do Batman vs. Superman, have someone else do Justice League. That's not really popular, but then Hungry Almighty said James Gunn needs to clarify how he will announce the DC slate. Twitter announcement event. He hasn't, bro. That's what I'm saying. And we have 8 days left. Rice said the petition is called Save Black Panther. # Save Black Panther for Chadwick. Is there a site connected with it anywhere? If you can maybe post that link, is there something that I can read about it on the site? If you can post that, then yeah, sure, definitely got you. Raymond said it would have made things differently having Zach do Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Justice League was a mistake. Josh, with a $5 super chat, thank you so much for that, said, hot take, I don't think James Gunn is a great director. Neither do I. Or comedic writer. Neither do I. Him doing Superman will flop and will reboot again. I agree with everything that you just said. When I heard that Gunn might be doing the Supes film, I believe that is real. I believe that's real. He is directing it. I don't see why. I don't know how. Because I'm looking at things that James Gunn has done outside of Superman, and it's like, I don't want him touching Superman. Like, be the CEO, bro. Be the CEO. Get off Twitter arguing with people. Be the CEO. If you want to direct something, direct Lobo. Like, I feel like that's a character that is the type of characters that Gunn likes to flesh out. Like, that's right up his alley. But him directing a Superman film, I don't like it. I don't like it. You look at Peacemaker. Can you imagine elements of Peacemaker, the comedic elements of Peacemaker, the comedic elements of Guardians of the Galaxy, injected into a Superman film? And this is the first time we've seen Superman in his own solo film since Man of Steel. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I hope somebody, again, he is a CEO, but maybe Peter or somebody, David Zaslav, can sit down with him and tell him, look, bro, we get you're excited about the reboot. We know everything, you know, we're excited about the reboot too, but you don't need to touch Superman. You just don't need to touch Superman. So I don't know. Raymond said, I'll make a John Campea prediction. If Superman fails, DC as a brand is dead. Oh, I agree with John when he said it, because John did say that. I agreed when he said it. If Superman does fail, DC's up a shit's creek. And there, I don't see anybody going to see anything else DC for a long period of time, unless it's animated. Josh said, never watched Peacemaker. Guardians of the Galaxy was lightning in a bottle. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Love Guardians of the Galaxy. The first one, second one, I'm going to love the third one. Peacemaker, I'm with you. I didn't watch Peacemaker. I saw things from Peacemaker, but I didn't watch Peacemaker. I didn't want to watch Peacemaker. Skillmonger said, I can see Gunn directing Lobo. Definitely directing Lobo. That is right up his alley. Elijah said, I feel like James Gunn would be a better director for Doom Patrol. Even a Doom Patrol movie is right up his alley. But, like, stay away from the mainstay. Like, let him have those side type characters. What he's good at. He took Guardians when no one was checking for him and made it arguably one of the best. I think Guardians has the potential to be one of the best trilogies within Marvel after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Has the potential to be one of the best trilogies within the MCU. And he took that team and made them what they are. He takes these ragtag, side characters and turns them into these beloved household names. That's what he needs to stick with. Stay the fuck away from Soup. Stay away from Flash. Stay away from Green Lantern. Stay away from Wonder Woman. Stay the fuck away from Batman. Stick with those side type characters that fit within the genre he's wanting to tell. CGZ said James Gunn should direct Omega Man. I could see that too. Raymond said, John said that about Batman vs. Superman. I'm saying this now. DC is dead. Hungry said, my biggest question is Batman. At least Soups we know it's a rebooted Superman. Batman, we need more clarity. Yeah, don't know anything about Batman at all. Dougie Fresh said Gunn would do good with Booster Gold and Plastic Man. Yeah. I agree with everything you guys are saying. But let's move on here. We're going to move on here to the next topic. The next topic what is our next topic? Okay, the next topic we're going to move on here to is going to be Selena Gomez. Now, I don't have I guess I should have just done this. Hold on. Here's what we'll do for Selena, because it's not like I have there's no article with this. Hold on one second. So there's no... okay. There's no article for the news going on with Selena Gomez. But I can show this. Hold on. All right. So, this is what we'll show for this, since I don't have anything. For Selena. All right. So, Here we are. So Selena Gomez is rumored to be in Agatha, Coven of Chaos, and this is not the Agatha leaks. This is something completely different. The Agatha leaks I'm saving for last, but this is something completely different. So it looks like Selena Gomez may be joining the MCU, and as I said at the beginning of this, a lot of fans back in, I remember like in 2018, around the Endgame Infinity War days, were really high on Selena Gomez possibly joining the MCU moving forward. I know a lot of people wanted Selena, I was not one, but wanted Selena Gomez to be America Chavez. There was that whole thing that was going on at one point. But it looks like she may be joining the MCU, and she may be joining Agatha Coven of Chaos. Obviously we all know she has a pre-existing relationship with Disney from her time, most notably for her time as Alex on Wizards of Waverly Place. Love the show, grew up with it, love Wizards of Waverly Place. Wizards of Waverly Place and things like that. So she's already played a witch once before, so it looks like she may be coming in and potentially playing a witch in one of the covens, or that either breaks Agatha out of whatever hex, or the hex that Wanda left her in, or something like that, or just a witch in general. But as of right now, the rumors are just stating that she could already be cast in the MCU. But they also state that she could be playing another witch, like I just said, or a part of the Coven team there, or whatever. Because remember, the rumor was that some Coven was supposed to be coming to break Agatha out of the hex that Wanda left her in. So she could be a part of that Coven. But maybe just a witch in general. But the rumor also states that she is going to be making a cameo. It doesn't necessarily say that she's going to be playing a future, bigger, larger role within the MCU. It only says that she's going to be making a cameo. And from other leaks that we've seen for Agatha, especially the stuff we're about to get into, the first episode is going to be picking up where WandaVision left off. So we're going to be picking up where WandaVision left off, potentially with Agatha going back to Salem, or perhaps New Salem, because in Marvel Comics, New Salem is located in Colorado, and it's actually a magical place that New Salem is a magical place that magic users can openly use magic without being treated differently for it or anything like that. So we could be seeing where Selena is maybe one of the witches in New Salem, a friend of Agatha's. Maybe she is a friend that, from Agatha's past or something like that, or she becomes a friend of Agatha's, because, although the MCU and WandaVision played on Agatha's villainous side, Agatha's really not that bad in Marvel Comics at all. I mean, she has a relationship with the Fantastic Four, obviously, Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm. I mean, she is the nanny to Franklin Richards, arguably one of the strongest, if not the strongest, mutant. But she, Agatha's not really like that bad of a person in Marvel Comics at all. So whatever role she could be playing or having in Agatha Coven of Chaos, I think it's going to be that a witch. I think it's either a witch that is going to befriend Agatha, or a part of the Coven that Aubrey Plaza's character is going to be leading, because she's supposed to be the big bad of the series. Agatha is obviously not going to be the villain of the show, but Aubrey Plaza's character is going to be the villain of the show. So either Selena Gomez's character has lined herself with Aubrey Plaza's character, or she is going to be an ally to Agatha, maybe from New Salem, if New Salem is going to indeed be in the show. I'm not sure about New Salem being in the show or not. I just know that, that is... with Agatha being from Salem and New Salem being a part of Marvel Comics, is something that the MCU could definitely play on. And I also do not know or believe that the rumor that Selena is only going to make a cameo. I don't know that you bring... Now, it's possible. Look at Matt Damon. Matt Damon does stuff within the MCU only as cameos, and he is Matt Damon. So there's the possibility that Selena Gomez could only be doing a cameo just as her, just as whatever character she's playing, and just as a cameo, and then that's it. But I also think that with her, with being who she is, being Selena Gomez, saw some people calling her a brilliant actress. I don't know about that, but she's a good actress. I think having Selena Gomez a part of, the MCU could be great for her. It could be great for the MCU. Having her play this witch in Agatha could, boost some views and things like that. I like Selena Gomez. I just thought that was a really interesting thing when I saw that there, that she is rumored to be in Agatha Coven of Chaos, and what that could possibly mean for her future in the MCU if it's more than just a cameo, and what role is she possibly playing in Coven of Chaos. So I just thought that was really interesting and wanted to share that with everyone. But as her, what's her theme song? Everything is not what it seems. So it may not be any of this at all. Everything is not what it seems. So we'll see for sure. But you guys let me know what you guys are thinking down below in the comments about Selena Gomez possibly joining the MCU, and what that could possibly mean for the show, what that means for the MCU. What does that mean for Selena in general? So let us know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. I'll see what you guys are saying on that. Let's see. Let's see. Where do we start? Snyder said they better put the Wizards of Waverly Place theme song. Dougie Fresh said, yeah, so Dougie Fresh said, stole the words right out of my mouth, Snyder. Not gonna lie, that show was my childhood. Raymond said, Agatha sucked all along. Snyder said, everything is not what it seems. We're doing the theme song there. Then we got Josh that said, sorry, let me go back up. If she died from Doctor Strange 2, wouldn't the spell disappear for Agatha? Well, we're going to get into all of that. D. Sizzle said, America Chavez, Selena's not Afro-Latina enough, just like the mom actress. No disrespect. Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I never wanted her to be America Chavez. That's just what people were saying. Out there, they were like, oh yeah, I think she'd make a great America Chavez. Oh, I never saw that. Skillmonger said, is Agatha the first character to get a show without her own comic book? I think so. But again, we're going to get into the leaks for that. We're going to get into it. We got, let me see, Marvelous D that said, true, and she might free Agatha from the spell she's under. Very possible. D Sizzle said Agatha Coven of Garbage. We've got Josh that said, you don't sign Selena for a long-term role, short-term role. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see her just doing it for a cameo. Snyder said she better be Alex Russo from the multiverse. Josh said she's young and can be a secondary character. Snyder said they better play that theme song, man. Professor Film Fan said we shall see. Yes, we shall see for sure. C. Sizzle said it's been years, but Disney loves rotating their actors. Elijah said I love her in Only Murders in the Building, so I wouldn't mind her in the MCU. I've heard good things about that. That's the that's on Netflix, isn't it? I believe. I could be wrong. Snyder said, not gonna lie, maybe Selena can be Megan Le Fay. Maybe. Hungry Almighty said Selena in, yeah, Snyder possibly. Hungry Almighty said Selena in the MCU. What's next? Bella Thorne as redhead MJ. Wait, actually, I would rather have that than Zendaya MJ. I don't know if I'd rather have Bella Thorne. I like Zendaya. I don't know why they didn't make Zendaya. It's not like she hasn't dyed her hair red before. They could have done that too. Official Liam G said, I thought Aubrey Plaza was playing Morgan Le Fay. I think Aubrey Plaza is playing Morgan Le Fay. I think she is. Only thing I know about it that's come out so far is just that she is the villain of the show. So let's see. We'll move here to the next thing here. And the next thing that we'll talk about is, and I'm just going to read through this. You guys make up your own minds on this. This is coming from the Marvel Studios subreddit. So the Marvel Studios subreddit, someone put out a theory, and the theory has to do with Kang. And the theory goes on, it starts here saying that, the title of it, Theory. each Kang Dynasty member wants a different Phase 4 item. So as we all know that there are going to be variants, several variants of Kang popping up throughout the Multiversal Saga is what we've heard. We heard that there's supposed to be multiple Kangs that show up in Loki Season 2. We know that Victor Timely was rumored to be one of them. We don't know what the others are going to be. I've speculated that maybe in Moon Knight Season 2, if it is supposed to be coming out before Kang Dynasty, that Rama Tut could possibly show up in Moon Knight Season 2. You know, you've got so many different Kang variants that could be popping up throughout the Multiversal Saga, but this is what the Marvel Studios subreddit had to say, and they said, what if the Dynasty part of Kang Dynasty refers to each Kang variant seeking out a different MCU item related to immortality/time. So basically the Kang Dynasty movie is just all of the Kangs debilitating the heroes and getting their stuff ending a Kang vs. Kang showdown, which I don't think this is going to happen, or this part at least. Kang vs. Kang showdown where one Kang wins and starts off Secret Wars. And the only reason I say I don't know about their opening to this is because it contradicts things that we have already, you know, leaked, or things that we've read in way of leaks or rumors about Kang Dynasty leading into Secret Wars and etc, etc, etc. But this is what they had to say. They put on here, they said bangles. So obviously the bangles are going to be Kamala Khan's bangles that said allow Kamala to travel back in her own timeline. 10 rings prevent aging. Khonshu, immortal plus, could change the sky to reflect a certain time period. Then you've got Blade / Eternals, the Ebony Blade. What if all of the items we're seeing are going to be sought out by different Kang variants? For example, then we've got, so this way he said, for example, Immortus, he could be after the 10 rings or to keep himself immortal. Griffin could be after, I forget how you say that. I think it's Griffin, isn't it? I think that's how you say that. Could be after the Bangles because he's stuck in present time 616 and can't time travel. Rama Tut wants Khonshu's staff, which in the comics made Khonshu the god of time. Then it's Cullen Gath, a Sorcerer Kang variant that wants the Ebony Blade, which in the comics also made people immortal. I saw this earlier and there's no validity to it or anything like that. I just saw it earlier and I thought it was interesting. And I thought it was interesting just because of all the multiple Kangs that have been talked about. We know that we are going to be getting, supposed to be seeing several versions of Kang throughout the Multiversal Saga. Could any of that be going on? Who's to say? I don't really know. I agree with this comment here, though, that they said. This person said, I hope Kang's story is more than just a multiverse MacGuffin hunt. And I agree with that. I don't want Kang, like, I already don't like that Kang is, according to My Time to Shine, hello, the Beyonder. I also don't like that, according to, I think it's Charles Murphy, that Kang is going to be the one that wrote the Darkhold. I want Kang to just simply be Kang. You know, I also saw, which I'm going to talk about tomorrow, I also saw that Loveness, who is writing Kang Dynasty and also wrote Quantumania, recently said in an interview that the one thing that they're trying to do is show people that Kang is human. Again, yes, Kang is human. We understand that part, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't like that they're changing so much on Kang. I don't like that so much is being twisted and shifted around with Kang when you could just do the Beyonder. You could just do Chthon. You could just do, you know, make Kang be who Kang is. Stop trying to humanize him. Stop trying to make, I mean, because that's what you did with Thanos, and that's fine. I mean, you tried to humanize Thanos by making it seem, you know, the whole Thanos was right thing, trying to have a perspective of Thanos. Thanos is coming from a certain perspective. Again, sometimes villains are just fucking villains just because there's villains. I mean, I know that Kang has an overall agenda for things, but I don't like the whole, I don't know. There are certain things that I prefer just to just be, bro. But when I saw this, like I said, I thought it was pretty interesting. And when I say interesting, I meant like, not like, I could see this happening. I thought to myself, like, okay, that's an interesting theory. And again, I love the Marvel Studios subreddit because it's not just the subreddit themselves that are posting these things. This is a theory from somebody that just posted this in the subreddit. And I love the subreddit conversations because it does allow different theories to, you know, take wings and take place and to see, could this possibly happen? Could this happen? Could we see this? So many different things. But I wanted to share that with you guys because I just wanted to see what you guys thought. I have no, like, I've heard nothing that any of that shit's happening or anything like that. I just thought that was an interesting theory. Could we be seeing, like, versions of Kang, like Immortus, like Rama-Tut, like whatever? Could we be seeing any of them? I just thought it was interesting and wanted to get you guys' thoughts on it, honestly. I don't even know. Let's see. I'm saying Beto said, Feige gonna milk the fuck out of Kang. Yeah, bro, that's what it's really seeming like. Xavier said, yeah, I'm getting nervous on how the MCU will handle Kang. So have yeah. Snyder, appreciate you being here. Bro. I'll check you in the Discord for sure. Talk to you in the Discord. Josh said, like when he who remains, but allows multiverse. Could be something like that. Hungry Almighty said, they're trying to humanize every villain, which gets annoying. Let villains be villains. That's my thing. Like, why does Kang have to have some motivation? Can he not just be evil? I think that would be such a cool step up element from Thanos. I mean, you already changed Thanos vastly differently from what he was in the comics. So why not take Kang and just have him just be that villain, bro. Have him just hate motherfuckers just because, like, I used to say all the time in high school, sometimes you hate a motherfucker just because you hate him. Like, you don't have to have a reason to dislike someone. Like, you don't have to have a reason to be evil. Like, let Kang just be evil, bro. It seems like they are doing a lot of connective tissue to Kang, though. Official EMG said, I think the problem is not a lot of people know how to write villains as just villains. Everything's got to have a humanity angle nowadays. I guess to be relatable to the audience. But I agree, bro. Like, I agree with, especially with what you just said there at the end. Like, to be relatable to the audience. But it's like, bro, I feel like if you just had a villain, had Kang come in, as I've said, and I've shown the images of Kang, like dragging from the comics, dragging Cap, or there's the comic, the panel where he's coming down, he's floating down from the sky with the gun, and he says, say the devil's name and he shall appear. Like, just make him just fucking evil. Like, just let him be evil. Like, there doesn't need to be a rhyme or a reason as to why he hates the Avengers. He wants to conquer time. He wants to conquer every facet of the multiverse. And when asked why, because I can, because I want to. Well, why are you doing this? Again, because I want to. It should have nothing to do with, oh, well, because when I was a kid, or back when something happened to me, or, you know, blah, 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 this happened to me in this universe, or this happened to me in that universe, or just because, bro, because I want to conquer, because I'm a conqueror, and that's what I do. I don't have a reason. The reason is I'm a conqueror. I feel like that should be like obviously, put some more creative writing on it, but that should be like just the overall tone for Kang. I don't feel like we should have to deal with like, oh, well, let's humanize Kang. Hungry Almighty said, when Spider-Man 4 comes out, please do not humanize Sandman and Rhino. Take inspiration from Spectacular Spider-Man and just let Sandman and Rhino be petty criminals. That's it. Yeah, some of these guys are just the way they are. D-Sizzle said 10 rings are alien technology, shouldn't be futuristic Kang technology. It should be alien technology. But I'm telling you, the MCU, it's still unclear how everything's connecting, but I feel like all of this is connecting to Kang. Everything is Kang. Kang has done, I take it back to maybe Loki was kind of foreshadowing a lot of that. He's seen everything. He knows everything. He's planned everything. He's dangerous. He's, you know, like, maybe that's, I feel like that's what the MCU is doing. Like, Kang with the Darkhold, Kang with being the Beyonder, Kang with, you know, connected to whatever's going on with the Celestials, whatever's going on with the 10 rings, whatever's going on. What else is in there? It's the 10 rings, the Celestials. I'm missing one. Help me. Whatever's going on with all of that stuff. Kang is Kang. It's all Kang. But I agree. Xavier said, I think they are so scared of the mustache twirling villain tropes that they shifted to the other extreme end and have to humanize every one of them now. And that sucks. Raymond said, Ten Rings, Ebony Blade, Khonshu, the Eternals Tech, Bangle. Officially MG said, I feel like being a villain is in itself. I feel like being a villain. Sorry, this thing keeps moving. I feel like being a villain is in itself a very human trait. Yeah, I'd agree. See, Jeezy said, Renslayer should be Kang's only humanity connection. I would like that too. We still don't even know where that's going with Renslayer. Raymond said, but I like villains who have this motive or thinks they're the hero and what they're doing is right. I like that. Like I do. I liked it. I loved it with Thanos. Thanos absolutely, truly believed that what he was doing was justified. And I loved it. I like that. But I would also love for a villain to come in and then like, what, like for one of the heroes to ask, like, what's your motive? I have no fucking motive. I'm just doing it because I want to. Because I want to. Obviously, again, put some more creative spin on it, but yeah. D Stizzle said that's Dr. Doom's motivation. He just wants to rule the world, nothing more, nothing less. Right. Tim Madison, appreciate you being here. Tim said some people just want to watch the world burn. Alfred Pennyworth, yeah. Yeah, some people just want to watch the world burn. Yeah, I love it. Raymond said, like maybe Kang wants to conquer as many worlds as he can because if he doesn't, something in the future like a Tim's runs out, or I'm sorry, time runs out scenario, he's trying to prevent the end of the multiverse. Could be something like that too. And I wouldn't, I mean, obviously with whatever Loveness was talking about, and again, I'm going to talk about that article tomorrow, but with whatever he's talking about, he did say they're going to be they're going to humanize him in a way. The first part of the quote I read was remembering that Kang is still a human being. And I didn't read anymore because I was like, I'll just save it for tomorrow. D Stizzle said Kang gave Galactus the power comic. Let's see. We've got, hold on, this went down. I'll start it here. Grand Region Thrax said, I got a feeling they will bring Thanos in and try to make him an anti-hero against Kang in Secret Wars. You see the changes they made to his origin in the comics. Thanos is coming back. I think Thanos is definitely coming back. Again, I've said, we've talked about Secret Wars. I don't see how you do Secret Wars without some of these characters. You know, and listen to this, guys. Listen to this. And we'll talk about it once I hear more about it. Once I hear more from the leak and once I've gotten more news about it and I can actually, you know, we can talk about it at length and, you know, have some more speculation, I'll dive deeper into it. But I've heard that Wanda is supposed to be akin to the Molecule Man. Take that however you want to take it. That's just what I've heard. I've heard that Wanda is supposed to be akin to the Molecule Man's purpose in Secret Wars. We'll see. I don't know, but we'll see. Sir Yuri G said, sometimes the MCU just gotta let evil mofos just be evil. Yep. Raymond 2000 said, so Kang is also after items like Thanos. Does that kind of seem repetitive to anybody? I would say so. But again, I would also say, don't listen to this. This is someone's theory. We're not really sure what's going on there. D Sizzle said, you can humanize some alternate version of Kang, but the main Kang should be a tyrant. Yes, I even like that. Yes. Humanize a variant of him, but not the Kang. The Kang needs to be a tyrant, like you said. Skillmonger said, we haven't had a pure villain since Heath Ledger. Yeah, no, that's a good example, too. Heath's Joker was just chaos. And that's what it should be. Officially MG said, honestly, at this point, I don't care what the MCU does with their villains because they're going to do... Exactly, they're going to do what they want to do. Just write them well. Just write them well is all I can ask. And that is honestly, Officially MG, I think about a month ago was when I said... I'm at the point now where I'm just like, the MCU, I'm at the point with the MCU where I am with Sony. Sony gonna Sony, the MCU gonna MCU. They're gonna do what they want to do regardless. I just asked, like you said at the end, just write them well. SB Flash said Palpatine / Darth Sidious is pure villain and everybody loves him for it. Yes, Palpatine is just pure villain. Like you're a pawn to whatever it is he's trying to accomplish. And once he's done with you, he will dispose of you. He doesn't give a shit about Vader. He didn't give a shit about Dooku. He didn't give a shit about his master, Plagueis. He didn't give a shit about Maul. They were only ends or means to his end. That's it. That's it. And I agree with you completely. Josh said Marvel's villains like Opera with the Kang, with Kangs. You're a Kang, you're a Kang, you're a Kang. Let's see. Raise, I think you're talking about the petition or the website or something to do with the petition. Get with Raise. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter. DM me on Twitter and let's have that conversation about what's going on with that. Jeezy said Wanda ? Owen Reese ? I can see that. Yeah, like I said, take it until I get some more info on it, because that's the only thing I've seen on it. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but until I get some more news, that's what I've heard. Let's see. Raymond said, "Oh my God, Wanda's gonna die. Maybe." Dan the Man said, "Just because someone stumbles, loses their way, doesn't mean they're lost forever." Yes, Sir Patrick. Josh said, Marvel oh, I read that. Inner Chakra said, Alexander wept because he could not conquer his world. Alexander wept because he could not conquer himself. But I am not Alexander, Kang the Conqueror. That is, shit is so dope. Love that shit. I'll read that shit again. That's what I mean. Coming in, Inner Chakra, that is dope. I'll read that again. This is Kang. Alexander wept because he could not conquer his world. Alexander wept because he could not conquer himself. But I am not Alexander. I love that. And again, I didn't get to read the entirety of the script. But one of the main things that stuck out with me is, for those of you that weren't here when I said at the very beginning, was the script for Quantumania leaked over the weekend, but has since been removed. I should have downloaded it to my computer like I thought to myself to do, but I'm sorry I didn't. I should have, though. But one of the things that came out in the leak was that, or in the script, Kang talking to Ant-Man, and he told Ant-Man, damn, how do you say it? Hold on. I want to make sure I'm saying it how he said it. Hold on. Give me just a second. Give me just a second. One second. When did I say this? Because I put it in the Discord. We were talking about it. So it's going to be down. Okay, hold on. I just want to read this. I want to read this the way Kang said it. Hold on one second. Maybe I didn't. Damn it. I thought I said it a lot sooner than this. But I don't want to keep scrolling for it if it's not right there. Fuck. Bear with me 1 second. I'm sorry. Okay, well, fuck. I can't find it. I don't know where I said it. I thought I put it in the Discord. But fuck, maybe I put it in a different chat in the Discord. But I thought it was in this one. But anyway, one of the things that he said that caught my attention that he said in that script leak was when he said, he told Ant-Man, fuck, basically help me or I'm going to kill your daughter in front of you over and over and over and over again. And this is not worded the way he worded it. I apologize. But it's like this, over and over and over again until you beg me to kill you. And then he goes on, so what's it going to be, Ant-Man? You know, basically, are you going to help me with my what I'm trying to pull off or whatever? So I think that I'm excited, bro. I'm excited just to see what they do with Kang in Quantumania. Let's see. Dan the Man said, I'm good on seeing the villain, one note, but I'd like to see another Joker, but I love villains finding redemption. Dougie Fresh said, I like when villains find redemption too, but a lot of the time I like when I'm a villains type of person anyway. Like my go-to is the villain. And I like when villains are just villains too. Dougie Fresh said, those are the words I want to hear from a villain. Inner Chakra said, Kang has tons of quotes. My fave is the one where he goes, I have been called many things. Oh, that one. Yes. I love that one too. That's a good one. I love that one. D Stizzle said, I wouldn't exactly call Apocalypse evil, but he's still a great villain. And then Skillmonger said, they don't use Zemo enough. Bro, when we get closer to Thunderbolts, we better start hearing some things about Zemo coming out. Another quote from Kang that said, all of history is my weapon, you fool. I fight with time itself. You are its playthings. I am its conqueror. Love it. Love it. Rise, our Instagram is the same as everything. It's just Planet Fanatics. Omega Zero said, what if he who remains resurrect and he's the final villain? Could be. And D Sizzle said he feels that Zemo severely watered down. Oh, he is. I agree with you. He is. Let's move on here to the next topic. Next topic we're going to move on to is going to be some Young Avengers stuff. Let's talk Young Avengers. And this is coming from Casey Walsh. So I'll go ahead and put this up so you guys can see it. Casey Walsh over the weekend, and I did retweet it. And I retweeted because you guys know I'm anticipating the Young Avengers and everything like that. So let's talk about just quickly here some of the things going on. So this is coming from Casey Walsh. Casey Walsh did tweet this out. Tweeted out this picture of the Young Avengers, and he simply said Vision Quest. One of the things that we know about Vision Quest is that Vision Quest is going to be introducing Viv, which is Vision's daughter. Another thing we know about Vision Quest is that it's going to follow Vision on a self-discovery journey, and him rediscovering who the Vision is, who he is, things like that. We also know that Wanda is supposed to be showing up in Vision Quest, and we're going to get to all of that in just a second with the Agatha leaks, because it all ties with all of this. But Casey Walsh did share this, and I've said this many times when we've talked about the Young Avengers, is that Children's Crusade is going to be injected into Coven of Chaos. Elements of it are going to be injected into Coven of Chaos. But what Casey Walsh is seemingly saying here is that the team, the Young Avengers team, what he's saying is, seems like the Young Avengers team is going to be set up or established, or we're going to see the team in Vision Quest. And again, I'm going to get to that stuff when we get to the Agatha, when we start talking Agatha, but that the team is going to be showing up in Vision Quest and things like that. But according to Grace Randolph, because you see Hulkling here, Kid Loki, and I've talked about Kid Loki joining the Young Avengers too. There's that rumor that after the events of Loki Season 2, because Kid Loki is going to be in Loki Season 2, after those events, he is going to be permanently in 616, and he is going to be a part of the Young Avengers. So you see Kid Loki here. You see America Chavez here. You've got Kate Bishop here. We've got Speed here. We've got Wiccan here. And we've got Hulkling here. Now, this is not the only members of the team. Obviously, Kamala Khan is going to be a member. Obviously, possibly Ironheart. Possibly even Cassie, being Stature or Stinger, whichever name they use for her. Obviously, we know that Viv also is going to be a part of it. As I've said and speculated, I think Viv is going to be the Jonas of the team, because that was the name that Vision had taken on. He was Jonas at that point with the Young Avengers. So I think that we are going to be seeing Viv, and obviously Patriot with from Elijah, from what he did in Falcon and Winter Soldier. and things like that. So we know that Patriot's going to be a part of it. The Young Avengers are definitely coming soon, rather than later. And this is something, again, that we've talked about. We've talked about Vision Quest. We've talked about the Young Avengers possibly showing up with the rumors that we've heard about Vision Quest, and obviously with Viv showing up in Vision Quest, and all of this leading, because I believe Vision Quest, let me make sure, I believe Vision Quest is coming before Agatha Coven of Chaos. I believe Vision Quest is coming before, or I'm sorry, I believe it's coming before. With the shakeups of Agatha Coven of Chaos, I know Agatha Coven of Chaos, if we're supposed to believe these rumors, it's possibly being pushed back to 2025, which would put Vision Quest before it in 2024. So if Vision Quest is coming out before, then we should be seeing some of those elements from Vision Quest playing off into Agatha Coven of Chaos. As I've said, Children's Crusade will be adapted into Coven of Chaos. It will also be adapted into Kang Dynasty. Also with Kang Dynasty, we know that Kang Dynasty is going to adapt Children's Crusade, Avengers Forever, and some elements of Kang War and into Kang Dynasty. So that's kind of, I mean, it's really not much to go off there with the Young Avengers, just that when Casey Walsh tweeted this, and everybody knows Casey Walsh is a very credible insider with the knowledge that he has and things like that. But with him tweeting this out, him saying that the team is coming in Vision Quest, I'm still confused on that. I would still say Vision Quest to me would have to come after Agatha, Coven of Chaos, because Wiccan, like that, everything has to play out with Wiccan before I assume he joins the Young Avengers. So I'm assuming Vision Quest would have to come out afterward. But we'll have to wait and see what's being said here about some of these other things with Vision Quest and some of the release dates with Agatha, some of the release dates with Vision Quest and things like that. So we'll have to wait to see. But that is kind of just what's going on there with what Casey Walsh had put it out in regards to the Young Avengers and what we can be expecting as far as team members. And again, this is just a fraction of them. This is not going to be the entire team. But as always, let me know down below what you guys are thinking about the Young Avengers and things. Actually, before we even get into what you guys are thinking, let's talk Iron Lad. That's another element of a Kang variant. I feel like Iron Lad needs to be a part of the Young Avengers team. I've seen some people saying that they might replace Iron Lad with Ironheart. No, fuck that. I don't want Iron Lad, because if we're going to be seeing Kang, we're going to be seeing variants of Kang. I would like us to see a young, like, play on Children's Crusade, bro. Play on that shit. If you're going to put elements on it, like, really do it. I would like to see a younger version of Kang coming back to try to warn the Avengers, to try to, you know, getting the Young Avengers assembled and everything like that, getting with them and telling them, hey, a psychotic older version of me is coming, and if we don't band together to stop him, it's going to be all-out war. So I would like to see a younger version of Kang, an Iron Lad, coming back and joining this Young Avengers team. You know, what some people have been saying, well, if they do Iron Lad with the team, then what does that mean for Ironheart? I don't really fucking know what that means for Ironheart, but, I mean, I guess she could still be a part of the team. I mean, of course she can still be a part of the team, but I don't want her to be the replacement for Iron Lad. I do not. I don't want that to be the replacement for Iron Lad at all. So I'm hoping that Iron Lad is still a part of it, and I'm hoping that we see some of the others joining the teams too. Obviously, like Kamala Khan, like Stature or Stinger, with Cassie Lang, with Patriot, and I think I'm even still missing some members. Love, I've even said I believe Love might be a part of the Young Avengers. Thor's stepdaughter, and things like that. So we should be seeing more about what's coming, or what's going to be going on with the Young Avengers. Last thing I'll say about the Young Avengers is this. We also, with Children's Crusade being adapted into Kang Dynasty, some of the things we've heard there with that is that the team, the Young Avengers team, may possibly be assembled and established by Kang Dynasty. So we could possibly be seeing them being one of the ones that are a part of the events of Kang Dynasty and one of the teams that are helping try to take down Kang. But all of this is taken with a massive grain of salt. Again, this has just been tweeted out by Casey Walsh, saying that Vision Quest is going to possibly have the Avengers, the Young Avengers team. But let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about the Young Avengers team, thinking about this tweet that Casey Walsh tweeted out. Do you think that the Young Avengers team is going to show up in Vision Quest? How do you think that that's going to play out for what's going to happen in Agatha Coven of Chaos with Wiccan and some of the things we've heard about Children's Crusade being adapted there, and the things with Children's Crusade being adapted in Kang Dynasty and moving forward with the Young Avengers? Let me know down below what you guys are thinking. Let's see here what you guys are saying. Dougie Fresh said, Young Avengers and possibly Ultron are the only things that interest me about Vision Quest. He's such a boring character. Yeah, you guys know I'm really, really, really excited for the Young Avengers. Wiccan is by far my favorite Young Avenger, and not just because of how stupid, well, that is because of how stupid, crazy powerful he is. The prophecy that he is the Demiurge. And those are things that we're going to talk about here in just a moment. But yeah, I'm really, really excited for the Young Avengers to show up. Raymond said, bring me Young Avengers. Yes. Officially MG said, heard Agatha was about Billy and Vision Quest will cover Tommy. I've not heard that one. But I do know that Tommy is in Vision Quest because from what I'm about to get into with the leaks. I don't want to say it yet. I'll say it when we get to the leaks. But yes, I've heard that Tommy is a part of Vision Quest as well. I don't know if it's going to be focused on him, though, because it seems like the focus may be on Viv. Raymond said, well, it's Vision Quest. They're probably going to be tackling White Vision and his whereabouts. Yeah, they're definitely doing that. They're definitely going to be following, Vision. I mean, it's Vision Quest. It's supposed to be following a self-discovery. It's a self-discovery type series where he's going to be literally rediscovering his purpose, rediscovering who he is. But while doing that, Viv is going to be a part of it somehow, and then again Wanda and then their children and the Young Avengers, or at least maybe Tommy. I don't know. I don't know. I have to see release dates. Is this coming before or after Agatha? So I've got to see. D Stizzle said, not making Cassie giant size must be a budget issue. She does go giant size in the in Quantumania, just from what we've, from trailers and things that we've seen. Will she go big size? Is she even going to be a part of the Young Avengers team? I feel like she has to be, but that's because her and Iron Lad have the romantic relationship. I would like to see that. I would like, I don't know. I would like to see that. Grand Region Thrag said, I don't like Kate Bishop, don't like America Chavez, don't like Hulkling, and I don't like none of them damn kids, LOL, except Iron Lad. I adore the Young Avengers, man. I really do. I have recently reread Children's Crusade, and it's not as hype, and what's hype, but it's not what I remember it being when I read it. But I still love Children's Crusade. I still love it. D Stizzle said, New Warriors, Young Avengers. J Rob said, I feel like DC does Legendary Heroes better than Marvel does. The Grand Region Thrag, talking to Skillmonger. Ant-Man 991 said, I'm interested to seeing Amandus Chow be introduced into the MCU. And then, let me see. Hold on. Go back up to this. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I'm having some technical difficulties. Bear with me 1 second. The fuck? Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I don't know what the fuck that was. Anyway, Amy91, I'm interested in seeing I know who you're talking about. You're talking about the Asian guy that also hulks out. That's who you're talking about, right? I'm pretty sure that's who he is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me see. Zane Beto said, not a fan of Kitty Avengers. Y'all gonna stop hating on my Young Avengers. Raymond said, please keep Love away from the lineup and T Jr. I'm telling you, I didn't say his name for a motherfucking reason. But I do see them putting Love in it. I could see them doing Love. Granger Thwag said, I'm going to the Chinese store to get some wings. Bring me some. J Rob said, Marvel tends to just be there, nothing earned. Granger Thwag said, both of y'all right. Comic Chameleon, appreciate you being here, said, if they do it right, it can be good, but they have to have Iron Lad. They do have to have Iron Lad. I agree. They have to have Iron Lad. John said, maybe TJ will be a part of the Young Avengers. Jesus, keep that child in Haiti. Keep that child in Haiti. Keep him hidden. Keep him away from the pressures of the throne like his father wanted. Keep him there. And I'm being so fucking sarcastic. Keep him in Haiti. That part I'm not being sarcastic about. But keep him in Haiti. I don't want him a part of the Young Avengers. I don't. No. I want that. I want to Junior to stay where he is. Keep the child where he is. Dougie Fresh said, seeing Cassie have a relationship with Iron Lad, given the events of Quantumania, would be interesting. That, I didn't even think about that. Given the events of Quantumania, it would be interesting. T Tizzle said, Planet Fanatics word, she's giant in the trailer or the leaks. Either way, I missed it. I think hold on, I'll pull that picture up for you. Her and Ant-Man both went giant at one point. I'll pull the picture up though, because it's in the. I want to say it was in the trailer. Hold on, let me find it. Damn, where is that shit? Hold on. Let me see. I'll run through that. I'll run through the trailer for you, D-Stizzle, because they definitely did. There's that. It's that scene where Kang's ships are surrounding them, and Cassie and Scott are both big. If somebody has the time, if somebody's willing to, is anybody willing to find that for me, please? Find that for me, please, and let me know when you found it, if you're willing to. If not, I'll find it. But I'll definitely send it, D-Stizzle. Raymond said, send to Fraud to his real daddy, Wakabi. To Fraud. Hungry Almighty said, the fact that people think that giving all of T'Challa's stories to T'Child is a good idea. I've told some people that they might do that, and they were like, then why they didn't just recast? Yeah. But not today. I'm in a good mood today. I'm in a very good mood today. And I'm not, I don't know. Why? There's always the why. It always comes back to that shit. It always comes back to the why with recast. It always comes down to the why of why you did not recast. You know, it's kind of like I said with the whole thing with Nate Moore saying I couldn't look at the next young actor that wasn't Chadwick and call you T'Challa, but you literally did that with T'Child. You looked at Divine, and nothing against Divine, he's great. Nothing against Divine. He's a great young little actor. And I don't particularly like kid actors like that. But he is a good little actor. He did a good job in the role that he was put in. But you looked at Divine and said, you're T'Challa. After saying, I couldn't look at the next young actor that's not Chadwick and say, you're T'Challa. But you literally made... And some people might say, oh, no, that's not... It's Tucson. It's this. Blah. Fuck you and your mental gymnastics. It's I'm not today though, not today. Xavier said keep TJ away from them, but you know, I'm stuck on the abbreviation. TPTB. Can't resist. You have to help me. Ant-Man 991 said, yes, he's known as Brawn in the Iron Spider and the Ultimate Spider. Yes, okay, I know what you're talking about. I didn't watch the Ultimate Spider-Man show, though. And he's appearing in Spider-Man Freshman Year. Oh, is he? Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that one. Omega Zero said, Peter never met Morgan or Harley before the memory erasing spell ended. To me, feels like a big mistake. The actress of Morgan said her scene with Spidey was cut from No Way Home and not even in the extended cut. Ah. You're talking about the girl that plays 13 Reasons Why girl. I forget her name. Raymond said, am I ruining the mood again, Darius? No. You're not. You're not at all. T'Challa or to Junior. JB Easy said TJ was a safe face and it's not going to work. I agree. Johnny said, you ever think T'Challa would hold his hand over a flame just to feel pain? I don't know. Maybe. Xavier said, the powers that be. John said TJ itself is hilarious as fuck. No, it is. It is. I told you guys, after I saw the post-credit scene before I saw the film. The day before we saw the film. And I, after seeing that post-credit scene, did not have to see anything else from Wakanda Forever. I did not need to see the rest of it. But, yeah. Hungry Almighty said, which name do you like better, Little TJ or T'Child? Honestly, I like Little TJ, but I fuck with T'Child too. I like calling him T'Child too. It really just varies. It just varies on I guess however it comes out. Sometimes he's Little TJ, sometimes he's T'Child. Yeah, it just depends. Omega Zero said, have you seen the Peter and Kamala from... Oh, okay, so everybody's been telling me to check that out. Are you talking about the little... Wait a minute. Maybe I'm not... Maybe we're talking about something different. I haven't then. I don't think so. No. To Breezy. To Smala. Okay, let's move on to the next topic here. Next topic we're going to move on to, I think is it the last one? Is it my last topic? It is the last topic. And it's the Agatha. The Agatha Coven of Chaos leaks here. Let me get this up. Get the leaks up for Agatha Coven of Chaos. Bear with me 1 second. Of course. 1 second, sorry. Make sure I get this up right. This shit is so fucking annoying. Alright, now I can show you. Alright, these are the leaks coming out for Agatha. Or that have come out for Agatha, rather. Okay. Alright, so these leaks are all for Agatha, Coven of Chaos, every single one of them. So obviously, take all of these leaks with a massive grain of salt. The account that's leaking these is a new account, a new leaker on the scene here. But the reason that his tweets and everything have blown up is because other insiders, other credible scoopers have been corroborating some of the things that they've been saying, like, can we get some toast? Grace Randolph has even said some of the same things. So that's why this account has kind of blown up, and some of these tweets that they're talking about have blown up. One of the things that they were talking about, or like that Grace was talking about, was the Miles Gutierrez Riley stuff. Who at the time was rumored to be playing Hulkling, but looks like he may not be playing Hulkling. Grace came out and said that he's not going to be playing Hulkling, but he will be Wiccan's boyfriend within the series. It's just not going to be Hulkling. There's some underlining, a secret agenda as to why he's even dating Billy in the show. So we're going to get into that. That's in the leaks too. Let me make sure I'm on here. Okay, so let's just jump right into what they are saying here for the leaks with Agatha, Coven of Chaos. And again, this is all coming from Divinity Seeker. Divinity Seeker is a new scooper on the scene. And this is what they have to say. All right, they starts off by saying, here's where the show really... I'm sorry. Let me start that over. Make sure I just pull the thread, I guess. All right, Divinity Seeker said, here is all I know about Agatha, Coven of Chaos. This is set immediately after the events of Multiverse of Madness, where Wanda's death has unshackled the hold she had on Agatha. Agatha originally attempts to hide, but quickly discovers Westview is rallying behind her as a hero. Here is where the show really deviates from the source material. She has an adopted son, and no, not Nicholas Scratch. Now, some of these things I like, some of these things I don't like. I have issues with some I'm really high on. This is one of the things I have an issue with. She has an adopted son, and no, not Nicholas Scratch, but a boy played by Joe Locke, obviously Billy Kaplan. So it looks like, because I remember when, and I'm going to read through this, but I'm going to be pausing while reading it because I have a lot to say. Over the weekend, when some of the BTS photos came out, or over the week, I'm sorry, this past week, when some of the BTS photos came out for Agatha, Coven of Chaos, and one of them being this one specifically, stuff like this. When this one came out for Agatha, Coven of Chaos, and it showed Catherine Hahn and Joe Locke behind the scenes together, and this is shooting. They're currently shooting the show, and from what we know, Joe Locke's character, which we're all assuming is Billy Kaplan, works in the mall. He works at the Westview Mall, and looks like he's adopted by Agatha. So she has an adopted son, and it is Billy. So Billy is not reincarnated with... Well, he's reincarnated, but he's not with the family that he's with in the comics. He is now being adopted by Agatha, and Agatha is going to be his mother. So when I saw this photo the first time, I was thinking, I shared it on my Instagram. So if anybody follows me on my personal Instagram, I share a lot of stuff. But I shared this photo on my personal Instagram story, and I said, why the fuck is Agatha having a conversation? I put this. I said, either this picture is behind the scenes while they're filming, or this picture is just them on set eating. And I was wrong. It's not just them on set eating. This is filming of the show. So this is a scene in the show here. So it brings me back to, at the time I was wondering, because this was before these leaks came out, I was wondering, why the fuck is Agatha having a whole ass conversation with Billy? But now, since these leaks have come out from Divinity Seeker, it seems like it's because she is his mother. She's adopted him. And then it goes on to say, who they both do not realize is a reincarnation of the mythical figure of the prophecy of Wiccan. Agatha is his mother. So, like you just said there, Agatha is his mom, but I guess she does not realize who he is or know what he is, or that he's a reincarnation of, the mythical figure, the prophecy of Wiccan. Then it goes on to say, Billy Joe Locke already has a boyfriend when the show begins, and they will be connected romantically throughout the entire series. But he is revealed to be working for Aubrey Plaza in episode 7 and had planned his encounter with a vulnerable Billy who had just come out. Then it goes on and says that Wanda makes a surprise return in episode 9, revealing that she did not die. Of course she didn't. Die after Multiverse of Madness, but was merely depowered and team up with Agatha to take down the Coven, as they both find common ground as a motherly figure to Billy. See, now that is a huge deviation from the comics. And maybe bringing Wanda in is trying to have some type of deal to where it makes fans comfortable with Agatha. Even it looks like Wanda's going to have some type of pseudo family with Agatha and Billy, where they are both going to be maybe mother figures to Billy. It's what it kind of seems like. And again, it's not something I don't like that part really at all, but it's what they're doing. It goes on to say, Evan Peters also appears in the series as an awkward Ralph Bohner, who actually is not Ralph Bohner. If you guys remember, we talked about that as well. I also told you guys, I think it was maybe last time we talked about the Agatha stuff, Agatha Coven of Chaos, is that Evan Peters would be a part of the show, but the Ralph Bohner thing was not going to be a deal. Like, he is actually going to be, from what I've heard, Quicksilver. From what I've heard. But we will see on that. Then it goes on to say Mephisto appears in the finale, but he's not the focus of the series. His story continues elsewhere, and we know where that elsewhere is. That elsewhere is Ironheart. Goes on to say his appearance is merely a cameo with the intention of recruiting Wanda and restoring her powers, who at the last second chooses Agatha and Billy, not Mephisto. And I like the fact that Mephisto's in here. I like the fact that Mephisto's giving Wanda ultimatums. He's teasing Wanda, like, I can help you get your powers back if you do this for me. The same way that he kind of manipulated Wanda when he made the twins pieces of himself in the comics and the source material stuff. So I like the fact that he's in here teasing Wanda, and we're seeing him here, blah, 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 blah. But when they say elsewhere, let's go to that elsewhere for a second. That elsewhere is Ironheart. Mephisto was supposed to be showing, we know Mephisto is in Ironheart. We know that Mephisto, Sacha Baron Cohen, has filmed several scenes as Mephisto, not just for Ironheart, but for some things for Agatha Coven of Chaos as well. Now, it is just a cameo that he's showing up in Coven of Chaos. And he's only showing up to be Mephisto. And when I say be Mephisto, he wants something from Wanda. But in order for him to get that from Wanda, he's first got to manipulate Wanda and have Wanda thinking, bro, I can help you. I can get you what you want. I can give you your powers back as long as you bend the knee to help me. Something like that. We're definitely going to be seeing Mephisto being Mephisto and trying to tease and prod at Wanda. But we also know that from rumor that Agatha is supposed to be showing up in Ironheart, which makes, showing up in Ironheart, and is supposed to be a sort of, I don't want to say lackey, for Mephisto, but working with Mephisto. The Hood is Agatha is the mentor to the Hood, from what we've heard in rumor. So take that with a massive grain of salt as well. That's just from what I've heard in rumor, that Agatha is supposed to be playing a mentor figure to the Hood, but she's also going to be working with Mephisto as to why he's showing up in Ironheart. What his motivation is in Ironheart, I'm not sure, but that's just what we've heard there. Then it goes on to say Agatha is not an anti-hero or a villain in this story. She is actually deemed a hero by many. This is a very swift turn to the good side, and she creates a new outfit for herself with hints of purple and silver, and is more of a fitted outfit than a dress. No shoulder pieces. Now, it's cool. I guess we'll have to wait to see what it looks like. I liked her in the dress, but we'll have to, see what it looks like. Then it goes on to say, there is an episode where her hero reputation inflates her ego, and she loses sight of Billy, who is then captured by the Coven at the end of episode 7, because she fails to protect Billy from the dangers of the world. Then it goes on to say, I'm not going to read that part. Then it goes on to say, that's the reason I'm not reading that part is just because it has nothing to do with this. This is just deep. the Divinity Seekers explaining why they're sharing all this stuff. But then they go on to say Tommy/Speed does not appear in episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. Tommy Speed does not appear in episodes 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, and 9. I've seen the principal photography script and call sheets, so I will assume he's not in the series. Hulkling/Teddy is not in the series either, but he is the focus of. But he is a focus of Armor Wars with Don Cheadle's Rhodey, which I find fucking interesting. It's interesting that Teddy is going to be a focus in Armor Wars. So I'm assuming which we already know, the events of Secret Invasion are going to bleed into Armor Wars, and that's something that Don Cheadle himself has talked about. We talked about that most recently on one of our topics on the show here. We talked about Don Cheadle saying that Secret Invasion was going to tie into Armor Wars, and we kind of already knew that just from just from Don Cheadle's Rhodey showing up in the trailer for Secret Invasion, and Nick Fury asking him, how much do you know about your security detail, etc., etc. So we know that Don Cheadle is going to be in Secret Invasion, and we know that those events are tying into Armor Wars. So maybe whatever happens with Teddy Hulkling in Secret Invasion, I'm hoping that they still stick to his royal bloodline being Kree and Skrull. I hope that they do that, because remember the rumor said with when we all thought that Miles Gutierrez Riley was going to be playing Hulkling, that they were not going to be playing on his whole Kree Skrull royal lineage. And that's, to me, again, as I've said before, I'll say it again, that's such an integral piece to Teddy that just has to be done, in my opinion. So him showing up in Armor Wars, I'm interested in. Again, it just has to be one of those things where he must be playing somewhat of an important piece in Secret Invasion, to where he is then going to bleed over into Armor Wars. So, but we'll have to wait to see what's going on with that. Then it says, I don't know if this information is out there already, but Armor Wars is about preventing Stark technology from being weaponized in the midst of the Skrull-Kree war to carry on Tony's wishes, that his tech will not again be involved with weapons of destruction of any species. Then it goes on to say, the Coven and Agatha are seemingly bad, but in episode 8, we actually discover that they're good people with good intentions, because they do not want to harness the power of Wiccan. They want to worship him. Episode 8 is the musical episode, and Patty Lapone is the leader of the Coven. A musical episode, yikes. But before we even get to the musical shit, fuck all that musical shit, let's talk about this. Them worshiping Wiccan. If you go back up to what Divinity Seeker said about Billy earlier, it was that, let me make sure I have that correctly. It's where he said they both do not realize is a reincarnation of the mythical figure of the prophecy Wiccan. Well, if you guys remember, when I've talked about Wiccan before, talked about the Young Avengers, I often talk about him being the Demiurge. And the Demiurge in Marvel Comics is supposed to be the one. The Demiurge in Marvel Comics is supposed to be the one that is a magic. How is it said? The Demiurge in Marvel Comics the Demiurge in Marvel Comics reshapes magic for how it's used in the present, past, and in the future. So we could be seeing one of these things where whatever this coven is, they know who and what Wiccan is. They know that there's a prophecy about him. He's supposed to become the Demiurge. He's supposed to become this all-powerful being and things like that. Because I would even make the argument that the Demiurge is one of the strongest characters in Marvel Comics. That's just my opinion. I think the things that Wiccan can do as the Demiurge is ridiculous. So when it comes to prophecy, when it comes to worshiping Wiccan or Billy or whatever, that could play a whole role. The prophecy of him becoming the Demiurge is why they're worshiping him, and why they understand how powerful he is, where his power comes from, and things like that. So that could be that. That could be one of the things that they're playing on there with him becoming the Demiurge. And it's like I said, it's prophesied. It's prophesied in Marvel Comics that figure is supposed to reshape magic within the universe and how magic is used within the universe. So we'll definitely see, and with magic being such a huge thing in Marvel, in the MCU right now, not just, you know, the regular magic, but with the way magic's being used, as far as like the crazy magic stuff going on and the crazy cosmic stuff that's going on with that. I think that we could be seeing, you know, again, that whole demiurge conversation, where if the demiurge can reshape magic and the way that magic is used in the past, present, and future, then that does make sense for Billy to be coming in as a demiurge in this time period of the MCU, with magic being so prevalent, with the cosmic stuff being so prevalent. So it's pretty interesting. I like that. I do like that. Now that the musical episode, they can keep that. Then it goes on to say, this is supposed to be a twist because we're under the assumption that the entire time that the Coven are out to take down Agatha and Billy. The real danger is Aubrey Plaza, who is a rogue witch. And again, we've talked, Aubrey Plaza is rumored to be the overall villain of the series. Goes on to say, the Coven is a bit of multiverse of madness itself, but not with Marvel cameos, but celebrity cameos. The biggest of which is famous Disney star, or is a famous Disney star who is still a popular artist today, and that is where Selena Gomez comes in. So whatever Coven it is, or whatever cameos we're seeing, again, that's where the Selena Gomez start comes in. So I'll read that over. The Coven is a bit of a multiverse of madness itself, but not with Marvel cameos, but celebrity cameos. The biggest of which is a famous Disney star who is still a popular artist today, obviously. That being Selena Gomez. Again, in the production script, it's not shown who plays them, but it's visible in the call sheets. And again, they didn't talk about it here, but that is where, when we were talking earlier about the Selena Gomez rumors, that is where the Selena Gomez rumors tie into all of this, that Selena is supposed to be showing up in this for sure. Then it goes on to say that the show ends with Agatha, Wanda, and Billy together after Billy turns down the Coven's offer of being their leader. But they claim they will always stand by him. The screenplay ends with the three potentially looking for Billy's brother in their next quest. Now, notice quest is in caps locks here when they say in the next quest, and that being Vision Quest. Then it goes on to say that in Vision Quest, this is Wanda. In Vision Quest, Wanda starts to regain her powers and discover that she never lost her powers, but they were repressed due to trauma and fear of destruction and what she can do. She is really wounded emotionally and is strengthened when with her family plus Agatha. And then they end it with, but you didn't hear any of this from me. So those are some of the things going on there with Vision Quest Vision Quest being tied into Agatha Coven of Chaos. Some of the things going on with Agatha Coven of Chaos with Wanda, Billy, Mephisto, Agatha herself, and just what the show is kind of going to represent, what it's going to be molded around. Now, again, take all of this with a massive grain of salt. A lot of this is subject to change. If the rumors are true and the show has actually been pushed back to 2025, then that means that a lot of this stuff is subject to change. We could see rewrites. We could see, reshoots of things. They are currently shooting, but that doesn't mean that we can't see reshoots of certain things. Or maybe they thought this would be a good idea at one point, but then later on down the line, as we film this, we've done that. Maybe something else takes its place as just a better idea. So we'll definitely have to see what's going on there. But like I said, I like the fact that Mephisto is coming in to be this. To tease Wanda, to make Wanda, to poke and prod at her for sure. But it's definitely interesting. I'll show a little bit of the behind the scenes photos here. And actually, the last thing I'll show before let me show this. Let me show this first. This also came out. This is also coming from Marvel. So the stunt double that plays Agatha in WandaVision released this on her Twitter. And this is a deleted scene deleted stunt action that they were going to do with Agatha, and I wish they would have kept this in, even though we got some good action from Agatha when she, you know, revealed herself, which was super fucking dope and that the end of that episode when she revealed herself to Wanda to actually being Agatha Harkness and not Agnes and things like that. The cool things that she was doing when they were fighting. I really wish they could have kept this though, because it just, to me, would have added a little bit more of Agatha, but I'll let you guys see this. Where the fuck is this? What the fuck? Hold on. Holy shit. Yeah.
Shout out to the legends, rising from the wreckage.
Yeah, they should have kept some of that shit in there. I definitely did not say it's gonna suck. That's y'all. I didn't say it's gonna suck. I still think I'm still here for it. There are things I don't like in it, but I'm still definitely here for it. The last thing I'll show here is just some of the behind the scenes stuff, some of the behind the scenes photos. The one that we already saw. The one we saw there, then there's this one here. This is another one. Get that one up. And this is the picture of the Westview Mall where Billy is obviously going to be working. Joe Locke is going to be working or playing Billy and working at the Westview Mall. We've got this one here. Wait, let me get to 3. This is just Joe walking in on set, obviously. There's one of Catherine Hahn, but this was the one I wanted to show too. This is just the one of them in the mall, them still filming. Joe's character, Billy, working in the mall and whatnot, and et cetera, et cetera. So, that's really all that's going on there. And for those, because I've had people asking me who is Miles Gutierrez Riley, I'll show you, go ahead and show you who Miles Gutierrez Riley is here also. This is who will be playing, who we all thought was going to be playing Hulkling. We thought Miles was going to be playing Hulkling, but he's not playing Hulkling. He's just going to be playing Wiccan's boyfriend working for the coven that Aubrey Plaza is with and things like that and blah, 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 blah. And ultimately going to turn Billy over to that coven. So he's not Hulkling, just playing a version of one of Billy's boyfriends. So, but again, as always, question is for you guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about some of these leaks and things that are for Agatha Coven of Chaos, some things coming out for Agatha Coven of Chaos. What are you thinking about the leaks there coming from Divinity Seeker? Do you think that sounds like something you want to watch? Or does it sound like, I'm going to skip out on this one, but you have fun with it, Darius, because I know you're still looking forward to it. Yes, I am still looking forward to it. Yes, I have my issues with some of the things going on in it. But again, you guys know, I've said this many times. The supernatural side of Marvel, I adore. Magic, dark magic, witches, voodoo. I love all that shit, and I want to see. But the biggest thing for me, it's not. I love Wanda. Scarlet Witch is one of my favorite MCU characters. It's not Wanda for me. It's even though Catherine Hahn is brilliant as Agatha. It's not even Catherine Hahn for me. It's simply the fact that Wiccan, Billy Kaplan, the fucking Demiurge, is going to be entering the MCU. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for my fandom of Billy. I adore Billy in Marvel Comics. I think he is, again, when we talk Young Avengers, I only talk really about Billy because Wiccan Wiccan is one of the strongest Marvel characters, man. I really hope they play on his strengths in this, and with the whole prophecy thing and everything like that. I'm still here for it. But again, let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking about these leaks here. Again, take everything with a massive grain of salt. Things are subject to change. So let me know down below what you guys are thinking. Let me get to the comments here. Bear with me 1 second. All right. What are y'all saying? Let's see. Let me go back up. Okay. All right. See, Jeezy said, can't believe Fox First Quicksilver is still a thing. He is. Spiderweb Toga said, Ant-Man and the Quantumania script was leaked. Yes, I did read some of it. Johnny Stevens said, I don't know if you're talking, excuse me, talking to me there. D-Sizzle said, Catherine is way too young looking for Agatha. Again, MCU gonna MCU. Raymond said, I would have preferred an old Agatha. Get someone old like Jane Fonda. I can honestly see Jane Fonda being Agatha. Or Sally Fields, Rita Moreno, or Angela Lansbury. Raymond said, wait, my bad. I was going to say that on the Angela Lansbury stuff. JB Easy said, this series is going to be trash. Nathan said, Agatha raising Wanda's child sounds like a twist on a. I don't like it. That's one of the parts I don't like. I don't like the fact that they're going to be co-parenting Billy. I don't like that shit. Agatha shouldn't have any type of ties to Billy like that. Dougie said, I just want to know what exactly Wanda is nerfing. Exactly what is nerfing Wanda? She just got powerful. I agree. Fuck, I agree. I completely agree. She did just get powerful. And now it's like she's about to be depowered again. But I feel like that's a Marvel, MCU problem. And when I say I feel like that's an MCU problem, I mean, take it back to what the Russo brothers said about Hulk. The reason they made Hulk Smart Hulk in Endgame is because they said they just didn't know what the fuck else to do with him. He was so powerful, they didn't know how to fit a powerful being like him into that storyline. And I feel like, again, source material. What the fuck do you mean you don't know how to fit a being like that as powerful he is in the storyline? So I agree with you. She just got powered, just got powerful, just became the Scarlet Witch, and now she's nerfed again. Cameron said, what I miss, fam. We talked, what did we talk? We talked Jason Momoa, DC. We talked a Kang theory that wasn't mine, but came from the Marvel Studios subreddit team. We talked about Selena Gomez possibly being in the MCU, a part of Agatha Coven of Chaos, and we talked a little bit of Young Avengers that was tweeted out about Casey Walsh. We talked a little bit. Dougie Fresh said, I'm not going to watch this, but I'll probably keep up with it. Well, Dougie Fresh, since you're subscribed to me, I'll be watching it, and I'm going to flood y'all's asses with fucking news about it, because unless I hate it, let's just say the show comes out and I hate this motherfucker, I am going to take the biggest fucking dump on this show, because it's another thing I'm getting hyped for, just to ultimately, prayerfully not, but ultimately be let down. So if I am let down, do not expect me to be quiet at all. Justin said, I don't understand y'all. All of a sudden, Agatha wants to protect... I don't understand why all of a sudden Agatha wants to protect Billy for. Was she not trying to kill him before in WandaVision? Well, see, that's what they were kind of saying there, is that at the time of her adopting Billy, she doesn't know that he's Billy. She doesn't know that he's Wiccan. She doesn't know that he's a reincarnation of Wanda's son. She just thinks that she just adopted this boy and things like that. It's not later on into the series that she finds out who he is. Zang Beto said, I think I'm going to pass on most of the MCU projects until Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. D Stizzle said, we got Wanda's kids. What about Pietro and Crystal's kid, Luna? I don't see the MCU doing it. Don't see him doing it because I barely see him doing Pietro. JP Easy said, I'm good. Dougie Fresh said, okay, I got my answer. JB Easy said, keep Hulkling out of Armor Wars. I really don't know why he's in Armor Wars. I really don't. It makes sense for Secret Invasion. I don't know why the fuck he's in Armor Wars. Let's see. D-Sizzle said, Young Allies, Young Avengers. Let's see. Near said, Edgy Harry Potter. Official EFG said, Darius, these non-believers gonna be tuning in when everyone's saying it's good. Laughing out. So, thank you. Official EFG seems to be the only one that is with me when it comes to this show. I think we agree on Billy. I think Official EMG, I think we've talked about that. We agree on Billy. We agree on the witchcraft, the magic, the whole, like, the supernatural side. I think that's where you and I are alike. Like, we want to see that type of stuff. But I'm agreeing with you. Like, everybody's going to be tuning in, though, when they see, like, oh, shit, Darius was right. Official EMG was right. This show is actually good. Yeah, bro, I think it's going to be good. There are things from that leak that I don't like, but I overall think that the show is going to be pretty good. JB Easy said, should have gave Monica a show. Should have, definitely. Skillmonger said, I'm getting Disney Channel vibes. I'm getting Disney Channel vibes with that episode 8 musical shit. I don't want that. Because why are we getting so many musicals? Didn't we just read that there's a musical number in the Marvels? I don't want that. Dougie Fresh said, if you liked WandaVision, you'll probably like this. If you didn't, don't waste your time. And yes, WandaVision, favorite Disney Plus show from Marvel. I've rewatched WandaVision numerous times. Because why do I love WandaVision so much? Because of Billy and Tommy. Because when I saw those two enter, I literally was the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I pointed at the screen, and I said, the fucking Young Avengers. They're doing the Young Avengers. Billy is here. Tommy's here. We're about to start seeing some of the other Young Avengers. We knew at that point that Ant-Man and the Wasp was going to have Cassie in it and all this kind of stuff. You know? So I was, especially when I saw Patriot and Falcon and Winter Soldier, Kid Loki and Loki, I was like, oh, holy shit. They're actually, so that's my, not just that, but I love Agatha. I love Catherine Hahn's Agatha in the show as well. But I love Wanda. It was my favorite show and still is my favorite Disney Plus Marvel show. Yeah, I love when Agatha told Wanda, she's like, yes, your children, Envision, and this whole little life you've made. This is chaos magic, Wanda. And that makes you the Scarlet Witch. I love that. Like, just the whole fucking dialogue. When she had the boys by the neck and Wanda telling her, you forget my powers work out here. And she's like, oh no, I'm counting on it. And Wanda hurls that magic at her and she catches it. I love that when she catches it and she looks back at Wanda and says, I take magic from the undeserving. It's kind of my thing. I'm like, bro, I don't know. I like magic. I like magic, bro. You can get me with a fucking card trick. I like magic. So, yeah, I'm in. Let's see. Official EMG said, if it involves magic, okay, yeah, see, if it involves magic, I'm gonna watch. Plus, I love, yes, we're the same. We are the same in that. I love Billy from the comics, too. Dougie Fresh said, Demiurge plus Scarlet Witch. I hope the Third Eye game, the Good Doctor, I hope the Third Eye game, hope the Third Eye gave the Good Doctor a big boost. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, The Demiurge plus the Scarlet Witch. That's the major thing there. The Demiurge plus the Scarlet Witch. What was Wanda prophesied to do? It is your destiny to destroy the universe, multiverse, or whatever it is. And then Wiccan's prophecy is, as the Demiurge, is to reshape how magic is used. Bro. And we know that magic is, again, magic plays a heavy element into moving into Kang Dynasty, moving into Secret Wars. Take it back to what Thor said, what your people call science, what you call magic, we call science. And it's like, we've been talking about this. We know that Kang, I don't like it, but wrote the Darkhold. We know that Kang, I don't like it, is the Beyonder. We know that, you know, a lot of stuff involving magic and just the cosmic awareness that's going on in the MCU right now. We know that a lot of that is going to add up. So I think that maybe with him being the Demiurge and being able to shape the way magic is used, maybe that plays a huge part moving forward. I think Wiccan's going to play a bigger part in Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty. That's just what I'm surmising from the emphasis they're putting on Wiccan with the whole prophecy thing and everything like that. I don't even know if they're going to do the Demiurge. I'm just assuming. Ant-Man 991 said, "I've always enjoyed the supernatural side of the MCU since Doctor Strange, and I'd like WandaVision and Multiverse of Madness. I'm giving Covenant of Chaos a shot." Boom, my guy. Give it a shot. If you don't like it, that's okay. But I mean, same thing with me. Hell, I haven't seen. I don't know if I'm going to like this shit or not. But I'm still anticipating. C. Stizzle said, "More powers to y'all all." All 2 to 3 of y'all who are excited for this. D. Sizzle said, "To be fair though, if Marvel made a dope looking new Warrior series, I'm one of the few fans hyped for it. I'd be hyped for a new Warrior show though too." Raymond said, "That's going to be a big L, Darius. You're going to have to wear an L shirt and hat for 8 weeks." You know what? Okay. I'll make a bet with y'all. Y'all come up with... I have to agree to the terms, though. I have to agree to the terms. Depending on what the bet is, if the show's bad, I'll do something or something like that. I don't know. Depending on what it is, though. Y'all have to come up with the terms, though, but I'll have to agree to them. But yeah, D. Stizzle said, "Oh, and an Agatha Darius rant. It could come, D. Stizzle. It could come, bro. If the show is not what I want it to be, if it hypes me up just to ultimately kick me in the fucking dick, I'm gonna be pissed." Clout said, "Came across your channel about 2 months ago. I love the way you cover all things Marvel, DC, and films and genre. I can tell you truly give a damn. You deserve more subscribers and recognition." Oh my gosh, Clout, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. That is such a nice comment. I appreciate you being here, subscribing, being in the chat, and hanging out with us. Yeah, bro, I do. I love this. I love this type of stuff. I love talking movies, TV, streaming, hot topics. I love talking Marvel, DC, Star Wars, all these things. I love being a nerd. I was a nerd before it was cool to be a nerd. So I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you, though, for that very, very humbling, kind comment. Cleve17 said, "Where is Magneto?" Let Kevin Feige tell it. Coming in very soon. Michael Fassbender's Magneto is rumored to be the Magneto that we even are moving forward with after the events of Secret Wars, moving forward into the events of the the Mutant Saga, which is rumored to be taking place in Phase 7. So if that is true, and some of these, well, let me rewind that to kind of give a little more clarity on that. The rumor is that the Fox X-Men are going to come in, and they are going to be giving a farewell send-off. Marvel's going to give them a farewell send-off as they're, winding down and things like that. Since they didn't get to do that in the Fox universe, they're going to give them the chance to do it in the MCU. But they are going to be the X-Men that we are dealing with during all the events leading up to Secret Wars. They're going to be the X-Men in Secret Wars. We are rumored to not see our X-Men until the Mutant Saga, which is Phase 7. But some of the mutants, some of the X-Men that are brought from the Fox universe are also rumored, again, massive grain of salt, to be staying after Secret Wars, and they are going to be moving forward in the mutant saga in Phase 7. And Michael Fassbender is rumored to be our Magneto moving forward. But, you know, grain of salt. Xavier said, I guess I'll check it out. I'm cautiously optimistic. Yes. Check it out. I'm watching it with you guys. Like, I'm gonna be reacting to it and posting those. So yeah. Even if you only watch just to watch my reactions to things, like if you watch the show by only watching it through my reactions, and then maybe you watch the reaction and you're like, okay, I want to check this out for myself. Do that. That's what I encourage you guys to do. I think it might be good. Give it a chance. D Stizzle said, "LY, blame Hawkeye for that crap." Cleve17 said, "Dang it, took me down." Cleve17 said, "They are trying to make the MCU so silly, bro. They are. I don't like the silliness. I like these musical numbers. I don't like it. I don't like it. God, I don't want the musical numbers." The Agatha All Along song was cool. I liked it. It was fine and everything like that. But I don't want to see them break out into some High School Musical lunchroom, standing on top of tables, choreographed fucking musical number. I don't want to see that. That's why I turned off. What was that newest Christmas movie with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds? Everybody at my job was like, "You're a movie guy. You cover movies on your YouTube channel. You have to watch the new Christmas, bro." When the movie opened up with them singing, and I thought to myself, okay, it's a Christmas movie, so maybe they're just singing the opening. But then they sang again, and I was like, okay. By the third time they sung, I turned it off. I'm like, bro, is this a fucking musical? Not that I dislike musicals. I don't look for them, but it's not like I dislike musicals. No. Cleve17 said, Marvelous D said, maybe Marvel MCU is copying DC with the musical with the Joker. Oh gosh. And even from what I've heard with the Joker sequel with the musical, I've heard it's not like a musical like we're all thinking. Like I've heard it's like some mental stuff. But we'll see. We'll have to see on that one. Johnny Stevens said, yes, earlier comment was addressed to you, Big Dog. I don't care about Grace's scoops. Hope she is wrong because I don't like her and her involvement with getting in Disney's ear to not recast. Oh, I'm not a Grace fan. I give credit. I will always give people credit where credit is due. I'm not a Grace fan. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't like Grace. I'm not a big fan of Grace's some of the things that come out of Grace's mouth, but the credit I give her is that she is good at what she does when it comes to scoops and things like that. Like she's credible, but she is also credible in the shit that she lets spew out of her mouth sometimes. So I do agree with you there. I'm not a big on Grace either. Let's see. Cleve17 said, if it bombs, you gotta wear an Ezra Miller Flash mask when it comes out. Okay, I can agree to that. I can do that one. D Sizzle said, wear the jersey of your least. Oh, okay, I could do that too. Ugh. Okay, I could do that. JB Easy said, Mike better dye his hair this time. Let's see. Then we've got Cleves that said, he just got his kids running around. He's always watching his kids. We got Dougie Fresh that said, we have to come up with a metric on how to judge the show if we're gonna bet. That's true too. I'll have to think about something. I'll have to think about something. And I don't know. We'll have to talk about like in the Discord or something, but we gotta, I'll really do it. D Stizzle said t-shirt with Grace's face. I do it. I would do it. JP Easy said, I'm here for the reactions, but I'm not watching. I barely got through WandaVision. Really? Dougie Fresh, you barely got through WandaVision too? Really? Actually, Dougie Fresh, I think I knew that. I think I knew you weren't a big WandaVision fan. T-shirt with Kathleen Kennedy's face. Yeah, with one that says like I love the sequels or something. Yeah. Mega 095 said James Gunn better not pitch an idea to Feige or DC vs. Marvel multiverse movie because I don't want the current New Avengers without Iron Man, Steve, Cap face off against reboot Justice League. We're going to talk about the New Avengers tomorrow because there's an article. You guys can go read the article now, but there's an article out by the Direct talking to Jeff Loveness, who is the current where he wrote Kang Dynasty and he's going to, well, I'm sorry, he wrote Quantumania and he's working on Kang Dynasty as well. He recently has come out and talked about Kang Dynasty and the new. I don't think he named any names because I haven't read the article. I just saw the title. I didn't read the article, but I think he talks about the New Avengers and them getting thrown into the fire and that they're about to be experiencing, this and this and that and blah blah blah. Official EMG said Marvel looking for a white male in their mid-30s for Sentry and is said to be a physical villain with Val being the brains behind it all. Yeah, we've kind of talked about some of that stuff with Sentry. That it's supposed to be like he's going to be hearing voices throughout the first part of the film. When he's introduced, he's going to be hearing voices, which those voices are going to then turn him to facing off against the Thunderbolts, but also that Val has a hand in his creation and things like that. Yeah, I'd have to go back and re-look at some of the leaks on it, but yeah, sounds about right. J-Rob said, I could care less about Joker, and I'm sick and tired of these grounded, realistic takes on Batman. He's a comic character. I need that represented on screen. Agreed. I still want to see Joker Fale Abdu. I want to see what that's going to look like. Because Joker is my all-time favorite villain in media, publishing. I think I said this already. It's Joker, then it's Vader. Joker and Vader are my all-time favorites. But Vader and Palpatine switch places quite often. Let's see. Raymond said, Grace is a Karen, the type of Karen I encountered at the Clark Sisters concert Friday, and I'm not talking Karen Clark. That's funny. Zangbet or Marvelous D said, if they color swap Professor X, do you think they're going to color swap Magneto as well? Well, if the rumor is true about Fassbender being Magneto, then no. If they do their own Magnetos, they bring in their own actor as Magneto and things like that, I think Magneto still stays white, which I believe he should be, but I believe he still stays white. Zengbeto said, we need a Legion / David Haller show. I got introduced to him in the Fox show. And we got Official EMG that said, Blade update, even after rewrites film will be set during 1920s. I think it's is that the furthest, no. Is that the furthest we've gone back in the MCU? The 1920s? Huh. Johnny said, bruh, you hate musicals, just admit it. LOL. Spirited was a musical, of course. There were going to be more. I didn't know it was a musical. I had no idea Spirited was a musical. People at work, all the people at work just kept telling me, you need to review Spirited. You need to do that on your channel. Which is not even in the genre of things we discussed, but talk about Spirited on the channel, blah, 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 blah. Go view it. So I watched it. I don't hate musicals. There are other musicals that I do like, but that was not what I expected it to be with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. It was funny. Just wasn't what I expected. Dougie Fresh said, I'm very vocal member of the anti-WandaVision club. Oh, no. But I think I knew that. K-Dot said, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, and Green Lantern, Hal Jordan need to be the DCU's first set of movies. Manhunter can appear in Superman movie. Was a secondary protagonist. No, I agree. And that's kind of like, that's in the same vein of what David Zaslav said. You know, we need to be focusing on the main guys right now. He said that, I believe, at the investors meeting some months back. But he was saying the same things. Like, it needs to be focused on Supes. It needs to be focused on Wonder Woman. It needs to be focused on Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman. Just those guys moving forward as of now. Dougie Fresh also said, but as long as the movie's good, whatever, I guess. Johnny said, I don't want DC involved in any capacity with the MCU. Same. DC simply isn't a good product, and I have doubts Gunn will right the ship. I definitely have my trepidations for the reboot, but I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. Hopeful. Official MG said, all this Grace hate, I'm a Grace fan, don't come for me. No, I already knew you were. I already knew you were a Grace fan, and that's fine, bro. I already knew you were a Grace fan. Because you're one of the ones that tell me a lot of the things that Grace says if I don't see her actually tweet it. Because I do follow her on Twitter because, like I said, she is, when it comes to scoops and things like that, like, Grace is reliable. But, yeah, I already knew that because you're the one that tells me a lot of the things that she says. Official EMG said, I'm not official EMG, I'm sorry. Raymond said, Grace's face looks like Scar from Lion King. D Sizzle said, I also severely dislike WandaVision. Really? I knew I was on the opposite side of the fence when everyone and their mama was praising that and Loki. And I'm like, what the fuck? You didn't like Loki either? I think I knew that. I think I knew you didn't like Loki. I didn't know that about WandaVision. JBZ said, Grace isn't a Karen. She's a Susan. K-Dot said, I 100% believe James Gunn will let the DCU Batman be more comic booky. I hope, but I believe he will, so get ready to see his, because I'm Batman powers. Oh, gosh. And see, that's why I was saying earlier, James Gunn needs to stay away from the guys that we just named. The mainstays. Like, stay away from Flash, stay away from Aquaman, stay away from Wonder Woman, stay away from Green Lantern, stay away from Soup, stay away from Bats. You want to do Lobo? Go for it. You want to do the Suicide Squad again? Go for it. You want to do, like some people were naming Plastic Man? Go for it. Go for characters like that. I don't want him touching Batman. First of all, I want him just being the CEO. That's just me. Let's see. Raymond said, and Darius, don't skip my... Hold on. And Darius, don't skip my comment about you watching Naruto. If Agatha sucks, you better... I didn't see it. I did not see it. But for a lot of the animes and things that you guys are wanting me to watch, so we've kind of somewhat started setting up the members only type streams and things like that. That's where I'm going to do that stuff at. Like even some of the, like, I know a lot of people have been saying, Darius, watch Spectacular Spider-Man Ultimate or whatever a lot of the animated MCU stuff is I haven't seen. I'm going to watch a lot of that stuff with you guys in the members only streams when we do those and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to do the Naruto stuff. Not even if Agatha is good, I'm still gonna do Naruto because it's something that you guys are requesting, so I'm definitely gonna watch it, and I'll do it in the member streams with you guys. Marvelous D said, this is good news because he should be that way. And then we've got Cleves 17 that said, Wiseblade the 1920s, SMH, they about to butcher him. And we've got K-Dot that said, if Superman's first movie is like Superman Man of Tomorrow animated movie, that would be a solid opening, and Jason as Lobo can be a minor villain. That would be dope. That would be dope. What was the comic that what was the comic that James Gunn shared the other day? Superman comic. I said it the other day, but I've since forgot. I don't remember. Amari said, to be honest, we don't need an Agatha series unless she's gonna be an Avenger level threat. Well, she's definitely not, but that's funny. She's not though, but that's definitely funny. Cleve 17 said, would you watch a Marvel vs. Capcom movie? I played the game. I mean, I guess. I'm not. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. JB Easy said Blade should be in the 70s with the brown leather. Ooh, that'd be dope. Marvelous D said Blade already a PG-13. Now it's supposed to be in the era of 1930s. They really don't know how to do black stories or franchises. Big sigh. I'm telling you. Raymond 2000 said, I like WandaVision. That's very shocking. I didn't like Loki at all. I only like the Kang stuff, but we all know what show trumps them all. Oh, God. I'm not even saying that last part. K-Dot said, Ben Affleck said he wants to direct in the new DCU. I bet he'll direct the Batman movie, honestly. More than likely. I remember when James Gunn was saying that too, that, you know, that they are looking at Ben to direct and things like that. And I think they've already talked to him about some things, you know, nothing, I don't think, maybe, at least to our knowledge, nothing is set in stone. But I could honestly see that, and I could honestly see him doing it in the same vein that his Batman film was going to be in. Because remember, his Batman film was going to be him, it's going to be him and Deathstroke, and it was supposed to be very dark. It was supposed to be dark. D. Cecil said, I remember Grace from her old Marvel days before she started babbling on her own channel. Zen Man said, what's good, everyone? Blade starting out in 1920s makes sense because he was born in the brothel in 1929. He actually didn't become a half vampire until Morbius bit him. Facto. I still see their issue with the 1920 thing, but I facts for sure. Raymond said, I like Batman killing. I don't. I'll admit it. I liked it. Why? Because he kills in the comics. I never got how people don't want him to kill. He needs to kill. I don't like that Batman kills simply just because it's supposed to. It kind of is. He's supposed to want to do better and be better than the man that murdered his father or his mother and father in Crime Alley. Like, it's supposed. I don't know. I really, but my favorite Batman is Ben Affleck's Batman. I like Ben Affleck's Batman. So I mean, yeah, I agree, Dougie. I don't like that Batman kills. Raymond said, I blame every death by the Joker, by the Joker's hand and everybody else in his rogues, because Batman should have slit their throat. Like, if he got out twice already, bows to the time to put the clown down, Batman. Yeah, but then we wouldn't have the stories. I don't want him to put them down. Raymond said if Batman was black, Gotham would be much safer. Dougie Fresh said, I was already gonna become a member if you're watching Spectacular Spider-Man. I'm there day one. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. K-Dot said, the comic Gun shared is All-Star Superman. Yes. That's honestly an emotional, beautiful Superman story. Yes. All-Star Superman. That was the one it was. Do we think he's going to take elements of All-Star Superman, or are we thinking he's just going to do All-Star? I mean, I feel like he's not going to just do one specific comic. I feel like he's going to take elements from different ones, but I feel like maybe All-Star Superman is one of the elements he's going to take just because he shared it. Raymond said, say it. We're talking about Falcon and the fucking Winter Soldier. Johnny said, what do you think about Sticky Fingers and Wesley and Secret Wars potentially? I think Wesley definitely is. And maybe Sticky Fingers too, but I think Wesley is going to be in it. I think that Secret Wars has to be one of those events where you bring back everyone that has, well, not everyone, but just about everyone that has played a Marvel character before the MCU, so that you can show the variants. You can show, like really show the gravitas of Secret Wars by bringing a lot of these guys back. So I do think that they are possible for Secret Wars. Raymond said, if Gunn directs Batman, just throw it away. Cleve17 said, we need to see that Slade versus Batman. That would be dope too. Raymond said, do you think Grace washes her chicken? Raymond. Jay said, if Gunn does Batman, there will be a dance-off. Oh, God. Raymond also said, the way people feel about Grace is the way I'm starting to now feel about John Campea. This is not the same man I enjoyed to watch 8 years ago. And then we've got K-Dot that said, Batman doesn't kill in majority of comics. It goes against his mission and life as Batman. And then we've got Near that said flashback to the original Batman comics where he had the yeah those originals where he did have the pistol and stuff. J. Rob said Grace seems like the type that would invite her black friends over for dinner, then call the cops on them while watching them get arrested through the window blinds. K. Dot said if Batman kills, it will begin to be a bad habit for him. He'll end up like the Punisher, who might break your leg for stealing an apple. D. Sizzle said Blade should also be British. Yeah, honestly. Really though, he should be British. He should be. K. Dot also said, well, actually, I'm sorry. Cleve17 said, I actually watched the Sticky Fingers Blade series. Oh, he was asking about the Sticky Fingers Blade. Yeah. Let's see. K. Dot said, I believe All-Star Superman might be the big inspiration since it captures Clark's compassion and optimism in a great way. He talked that girl out committing suicide. Yeah, that's when he shared that when I was like, okay, I don't know, bro. I just need him to get on Twitter, Zoom call, or whatever the fuck he's gonna do, and just give us some type of inkling as to what you're doing. What are you gonna do? JBZ said Wesley in Secret Wars. Yeah. Raymond said I can't even enjoy Campy anymore. Like that was a highlight of my day. I'm telling you, when they start talking the bullshit, I'm just like, I'm never gonna send in like. I chat sometimes. It depends. J. Rob said Batman hasn't been a killer since 1940. Raymond also said the real question is, does Grace put raisins? And she definitely does. Johnny said, I need closure to Sticky Fingers Blade. Damn it. Put him in Secret Wars, Feige, you coward. Yes. Raymond said, did she vote for Obama twice? Hillary and Joseph. I'm done, Raymond. Then he said, can she sing the theme song to the Jeffersons and stay on tune? And finally, when listening to rap, does she say the N-word or does she skip it? No, Grace says it. Grace be in her car loud as fuck. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I'm joking. I don't dislike Grace like that. I don't know. D. Sizzle said, Grace is the genius who compared watching BP1 to watching... Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Somebody sent me that. We talked about this once. Someone sent me that. I remember that shit. That is where she lost major points with me. I remember that shit. K. Dot said Sticky Fingers will defeat Kang in Secret Wars alone. Mega 095 said aside from Naruto, the final season of Beyblade Burst anime Quad Strike will be exclusively broadcast on the West, not Japan. The opening has released a few days ago. Want to react to it shortly. Songs lit. Yeah, like I said, you guys have a lot of viewers and things. You guys have given me a list of things to watch, and all those things that you guys have given me, I'm going to do a lot of that stuff in the members only streams. Like those are going to be pretty fun. Then JB Easy said, yeah, Grace can kick rocks. Official MG said, Darius, did you ever get around to watching Last of Us? Oh my gosh. I knew I was going to get asked that. Okay. So, I have been at work. You guys know I'm in shipping now. I do all the deliveries and things. So I'm barely even in the building anymore. Like tomorrow morning, I have to be at work super fucking early because I've got to drive 2 hours from here and be in Tulsa. I've got to do some stuff for the office in Tulsa tomorrow. So I haven't. Long answer short. I have not gotten to watch The Last of Us yet. I know episode 2 is out and I want to watch it. I've been avoiding everything. But I do need to watch it. So probably when I get off here, I'm going to watch the first episode, and I'll probably end up watching both of the episodes because I'm just going to get so into it. So I'm probably going to watch both the episodes, but I'm probably going to do that tonight because since I do stream so much earlier now, I have time in the evening to actually, I don't know, do shit. So I'm going to probably watch that. Yeah, Johnny said it's dope. JBZ said it's good. Johnny said that was Ryan Johnson who did that. Yeah, shocker. Well, I don't want to say shocker because Rian Johnson does good shit outside of, your mileage may vary, outside of The Last Jedi. Like Knives Out, Glass Onion, obviously Last of Us, things like that. So yeah, Xavier said Last of Us is so good. You got to jump. I know. I'm watching. I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm doing it like as soon as I get off here. I'm doing it because I'm about to hop off here and I'm about to go do that and everything like that. And I'm still working on my back door. I'm still fixing my back door because you guys know T'Challa. Recast T'Challa. You guys know he destroyed it. So I'm still working on that. Still fixing it. My mama's in the chat. Hello, Mom. I'm actually about to call you because I'm about to get off the stream. So, yeah, appreciate all of you guys being here tonight. Those were the topics. Those are the things we had to discuss. I'm going to come. I'll be back here. I think I told you guys on Tuesdays and Fridays is when I'm going to have guests on. So you guys will likely see Q tomorrow. You will likely see Kellen tomorrow as well. Pookie Wood, appreciate you being here. Yeah, you guys will likely see all of them tomorrow. We're going to have some topics tomorrow to talk with you guys about as well. Oh, another quick announcement. Because of the way the channel is vastly growing, which I love. Yes, like saying Beto said, hit the like button, please. Yeah, good night, Johnny. Appreciate you, Big Dog, being here. Thank you. But with the way the channel's going and it's vastly moving so quickly, I'm so humbled and appreciate every single one of you guys. I really do. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wednesdays, we probably are going to start not having a stream on Wednesdays so that I can get ready for Thursdays. Because as you guys know, Wednesdays is the day that a lot of shows release on Disney+. And with us getting back into the groove of things releasing, like Bad Batch, Mandalorian's about to come in February. We're going to have another Disney Plus Marvel show coming soon. All that stuff releasing on Wednesday. I would like to have Wednesdays to watch and watch the different things I need to watch so that when I jump on to Thursday streams, because I told you guys Monday, Tuesday are going to be topic streams. Thursday, I'm going to come in for maybe about an hour and cover topics with you guys. But then after that, I'm going to jump on a live stream that Planet Fanatics I will be hosting with other content creators talking about whatever show came out from that previous Wednesday. So whether it be a Marvel show, whether it be a Star Wars show, after I do the hour of topics with you guys, then I will go, hopefully still with you guys, be talking with other content creators about whatever show came out that we're talking about. So right now it's Bad Batch. So this Thursday I will be on with other content creators, Star Wars content creators on my channel. I'll be hosting it, talking about the latest episode of Bad Batch episode 5 and things like that. So Wednesdays are kind of changing. So it's going to be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday I'm going to use to kind of get into what I'm going to do for the last half of the week. So yeah, I appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys for all the kind words. Thank you, JB Easy, for the peas. Thank you, Zangbeto. Hit that like button. You too, Liam. Have a great night. I hope you guys all have a good night. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Omega095 said, how about a reaction to the Quad Strike opening? Now it's like 45 seconds. Hey, I'll do it for you guys. Bear with me 1 second. Is it going to get me copyright? Is it going to get me a copyright deal? 1 second. Let me try to pull that up. Okay. Hold on. Now, mind you, I don't know what this is. I have no idea what I'm watching. Yes, I did get a copyright the last stream. It's since off, but I did get a copyright. Hold on. I'm trying to get this to come up, JD. I'm sorry, I said JD, Omega Zero. I'm trying to get this to come up. But it's not wanting to. Okay, you said it's 45 seconds. Is it the one that came out 9 days ago? Or the one that came out 5 hours ago? Oh, 9 days ago, because it's 46 seconds. Okay, I'm going to watch it. I hope we don't get a copyright strike for it. But I'm going to watch it. Now, again, I have no idea what this is. I have no idea what I'm watching. Like, when I watch this stuff in the member streams, you guys are going to have to explain shit to me. Because I have no clue about anime. Like, I don't know anything about anime, so you guys are gonna have to help me. And is this like the Beyblades, like the things that the things you like is that what this is? Yeah, you guys are gonna have to explain things to me as it's going on, but I'm gonna watch this right. Oh fuck, of course. Of course. Bro, it might not let me. Hold on. No, D-Stizzle, we're about to leave. We are about to close. Omega Zero wanted me to react to this what's it called? It is the Quad Strike opening. It's 45 seconds long, so I'm react to it really quick. And everybody that's in the stream right now, every single one of you, if you love me, head over, because K-Dot's about to stream his premiere for The Last of Us Episode 1 reaction. Make sure you go check that out. Also, Spoiler Kings are live right now. They are live right now, and they're doing reviews and reactions. Spoiler Kings, go check them out. Go over to their channel as soon as we close here, or now, because I'm done. As soon as we close here, go over. I'm about to do that Quad Strike, though, for you, Omega Zero, for sure. But I'm done. You guys go over to Spoiler Kings. Go check them out. Go hang out with them. I'm often in their chat when I get done with my streams and go hang out with them because they are great guys. They have a great channel. They support us over here. And in return, not that we have to have you support us for me to support you. That's not how that fucking shit works. I support them because I simply like them. I like what they do. I like their format of their show. I love the conversations that we have even off, on Twitter and things like that. I adore that group. So definitely head over there, check out Spoiler Kings right now. Okay, Quad Strike. I want to try to get this shit to not... Okay. Okay, I'm going to get this on now. God, this is so annoying. All right, I'll try it. It might let us watch it. It might not, honestly. Typically, when it comes to me trying to react to stuff on here, I typically have to download the video first to the computer because I think my moving background, the background you guys see here moving, I think it... Shit, that scared me.
Quad Strike!
Yeah, bro, it's freezing. I'm telling you, if I don't download that shit first, then because of my moving, at least that's what producer Henry thinks. He thinks because of my moving background, it fucks it up. Let's try again. Maybe because it's already loaded, it might let me. Am I receiving anything for that? Let me see. No, I'm not. Okay, good. J. Rob said. J. Rob. Hold on. I'm trying to start this shit back over. Why the fuck? I'm telling you, this is why we don't react to things off of YouTube like that. This is why I do them. Okay, J. Rob, fuck that. Let me I'll download this. I'll download this to where I don't have to deal with this shit. I'll download it and I'll react to it on the next stream. I'll download it tonight and I'll react to it on the next stream because this it does that. It does that whenever I try to react straight off of YouTube. So, but yes. So, I'm sorry, I didn't mean J-Rob. Omega Zero. I will download this and I will react to it tomorrow in tomorrow's stream. It'll be one of the first things I do, and I will put it in my notes on the channel notes right now, so I don't forget. Let me see. Quad Strike. Okay, I put that in the notes for tomorrow, so I will make sure that I do that tomorrow for sure. For sure, I'll make sure that I get that done tomorrow. But he went on to say, a little detail, Beyblade's Burst anime were broadcasting on Japan until they decided to broadcast the final season on the West. It's going to be easy for the audience on the West to watch this. Like I said, I'm definitely, any type of anime stuff you guys want me to watch. No, Cameron, I don't watch anime. I've never, outside of Dragon Ball Z, I've never seen anything anime. So if you guys want the anime stuff you guys are wanting me to watch, again, give me that list. If you are not in our Discord, join our Discord. Give me the list. We'll probably have to re-give the list again at a later date, but that'll be the type of things on top of the many other fun things that we're gonna do in the members only streams. I'm gonna do that, react and watch all those things with you guys. Yes, I'm going to watch Naruto. Justin said, nah, this is not even the best version of Beyblade. You got to start with the original. If not, watch the Metal series, Metal Fusion Masters, and Fury. That's all in order. Whew, I got a long way to go. Raymond said, Darius, watch your mouth. Your mom's in the chat. Yes, she is in the chat. J-Rob said, only anime I'm watching right now is Demon Slayer. I've heard a lot about Demon Slayer. He said, Marvelous D said it reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, I know what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. Never watched it though. So yeah, you guys know I'm coming with all that stuff. I'll react to all that stuff that you guys want me to react to and all that. So but yeah, again, appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm going to go try to do some things to this back door because yeah, I need to get that done, and I'm going to go watch The Last of Us. So appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you guys for, I don't think my solo, oh it is, look at that. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with me and being here tonight. Official EMG, thank you for riding that Agatha train with me. Seems like we're the only two excited for Agatha, but that's okay. They're all going to come around. You guys be thinking about what you guys want to bet if Agatha isn't good for me to do. What you guys want to see me do just in case Agatha's not a good show. That'll be pretty funny. So yeah, appreciate you guys. So much love for you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm always humbled by the kind words and the many things that you guys say. Thank you for the super chats tonight. All of you, thank you guys so much for that. I think it came from Josh, Kenny, and let me make sure I know exactly who those supers came from. It was Josh, Kenny. Come on, thing. Oh, it logged me out of my Streamlabs. Oh, fuck that. Okay, I'll have to log back in later. I don't even know why. I have to have Henry do all that because I don't want to. So yeah, good night, everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for the supers. Thank you guys for all being here. As I always say, like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Again, head over to Spoiler Kings. Go give them some support. Support their channel. They talk about a lot of the same things we talk about, and they support a lot of the same things we support over here. So go support them. Good friends of mine. And also, shout out to Chill. I see Chill in the comments a lot in their comments and our comments. Chill is just such a good friend when it comes to sharing the love and sharing as far as like getting your content out there to other people. Chill is always sharing something that I've done, something that Spoiler Kings has done. So definitely, you guys are everybody already knows who Chill is. Definitely support all of these channels. Support everyone that is, you know, like-minded in the things that you like, and Spoiler Kings is one of those. So head over there, check them out. Again, like, subscribe this to my channel, like this video, and I will see all of you guys tomorrow in the next video. Thank you again. I'm super humbled. Love you guys so very much. Have a good night. Be safe. Talk to you later. Peace.